single day and night. There comes a time when your worlds will collide. If it's holding you back, push it right to the side.
On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal. On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal.
Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here.
On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal. On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal. On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal. On another level, I will never settle. Mind over matter, get the gold medal.
Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here. Ain't got no time for no fear. I work too hard to get here.
Scenario, win, 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 yeah, we on a roll. Yeah, 2, 4, 6, we like 10 and 0. I should probably tell them something that they didn't know. Back then we was down with nowhere to go. Shit, might have been down, but we didn't fall. Now we running it like some intervals. Ooh, what now? Tell me who you see when you look straight up. Like, wait, who us now? What you gonna do when we pull up on you? Like, ooh, touchdown. You already know what it is when I come through you. Ooh, shut down. Shut down, say, oh, what now? Tell me who you see when you look straight up. Like, wait, who us now? What you gonna do when we pull up on you? Like, ooh, touchdown. You already know what it is when we come through you. Ooh, shut down, ooh, shut down. Ooh, give me that crown, I need that now, right now. Ooh, don't make a sound, it's my time. You hear the crowd, yeah. We need that rain, me and my team, deja vu. this here a dream. We done all seen 100 times over back when we was just teens. Now we going dumb, told them we the one. They would count us out, now we counting up the funds. Now without a doubt, they be throwing up the ones. Like they was always rapping, y'all believe them if you want. Now they show love, came with a dub. It is what it is, it isn't what it was. They all love to hate when it don't work out. Tell you that they always been down when it does. Look. Say, oh, right now. Tell me who you see when you look straight up. Like, wait, who us now? What you gonna do when we pull up on you? Like, ooh, touchdown. You already know what it is when we come through. Ooh, shut down. Say, ooh, shut down. Say, ooh, right now. Tell me who you see when you look straight up. Like, wait, who us now? What you gonna do when we pull up on you? Like, ooh, touchdown. You already know what it is when we come through. Ooh, shut down. Say, ooh, shut down. Say, ooh.
Welcome to the place where dreams come true, where everything you want can be yours, if and only if you're willing to work for them, you're willing to hurt for them, but most of all, you're willing to be first for them. Ha! Look, I'm going straight to the top. I don't know how I would stop, like it or not. I got some goals that I'm hitting. You hear what I'm spitting, it's hot. Look what I got, whole lot of passion and pain. The road to success is insane. Stay out my lane, cause I'm on a mission. I'm getting what stands in my way. Yeah, I'm a beast, I wouldn't play with me, baby. The way that I'm training is crazy and I do it daily. You wanna talk about drive? I got more drive than Mercedes, I've never been lazy. I'm in the room, it's a red alert. You wanna compete, well get better first. I got 10 toes in the dirt, push through the hurt just to show them my worth. I'm the best. Yeah, I'm the best. I never stress. I know what's next. I'm who they test, like we playing chess. But I'm unimpressed, so now let me flex. Ha, yeah, I'ma work through the struggle and hurt, cause I know my worth, and I gotta be first. Ha, yeah, I gotta be first. Look, I don't want anyone's sympathy. I understand what is meant for me. I give my focus and energy. If it's meant to be, then it's meant to be. but mentally I'm undefeated. They hear that and say I'm conceited, like there's no reason, like I don't beat them and come back again just to teach them that when you work under pressure, you reach higher measures. They'll try and bring you down, but you cannot let them, and only get better and focus on cheddar. Eye on the prize and you'll become a legend. Like, when I'm in the room, it's a red alert. You wanna compete, well, get better first. I got 10 toes in the dirt, push through the hurt just to show them my worth. I'm the best. Yeah, I'm the best. I never stress. I know what's next. I'm who they test, like we playing chess. But I'm unimpressed, so now let me flex. Yeah, I'ma work through the struggle and hurt, cause I know my worth, and I gotta be first. Yeah, I gotta be first. They don't know what's gotten into me, how'd I turn pain into energy. Through all the struggle and hurt, remember my worth, and that's why I gotta be first.
Hello and welcome to the Snapdragon Pro Series Season 2 for the MSP region Free Fire Open Finals day number 2. So today is the last day with me, Husky, and of course Danily, where we find out our top 3 teams from a batch of 12 who will make it to the challenge groups by the end of the evening.
Yeah, we had a pretty exciting day yesterday. Yes, we weren't there, but of course you did have our amazing casters yesterday broadcasting those games. And I have to say the results, they speak quite a lot about the teams that are participating, right? So we had some of the usual things where Expand dominating the leaderboard, which I think for us, pretty typical for this team. But then we saw a fall from grace, right? AV Radicals, the team that's qualified for Worlds, has actually fallen. And they've fallen pretty far down that leaderboard. And I'm really concerned because, remember, Husky, okay, firstly, second day, final day to get points. And to be halfway down the leaderboard, you are kind of handicapped, if you want to say that, going into the second day. So they've either got to pull down a miracle play, or they're sort of praying that an underdog strips our current kings of their medal and kills. But can they do that? It's a very big ask for one day.
It's a scary thought, right? That one of our best teams might not even make it to challenge groups. But, you know, before we talk more about that, we just gotta remind you guys on how the format works. The point system is the same across all Free Fire competitive tournaments. 12 points for a Booyah, down to 9 in second place, 8th in third place, and all the way to 0 if you finish 11th or 12th. 1 kill constitutes 1 point. And this will be today's schedule. We start off at Purgatory, afterwards we go to Alpine, Bermuda, Kalahari, and then we repeat Purgatory and Alpine for one last time, and we will end the day and find out who the top 3 teams are.
Yep, a repeat. And so I'm wondering if some teams are going to be liking this, right? Because yesterday it would have been a double up of Bermuda and Kalahari. So we know some teams, they love Purgatory, they love Alpine. If they struggle today, this is probably going to be their best chance to make that comeback happen. And especially for teams that might be weak on Bermuda and Kalahari.
Yeah, and even yesterday when we take AV Radicals as an example, their best performance was, I believe, on Purgatory, and that was an Alpine. The rest of the maps, it was 4th place, 7th place. They even had one round where they were the first team to get knocked out. This is a refresh of yesterday's overall standings, with Expand now very far in the lead. I think they got 3 Booyahs yesterday out of 6 rounds, putting them at first place with 125 points. Axis Esports and Farang contesting one another, 75 for Axis and 73 for Farang. Quick Reaction with 67 in 4th place, AKO in 5th place with 63, and of course Geek Fam to round out the first page in 6th place with 60 points.
Yep, and if you take a look at the bottom end of the bracket, unfortunately AV Radicals, a big name in the region so far, sitting in 7th place with 51 points. Bloody Head sitting in 8th with 47. No Escape IRV just 1 point behind with 46. Tactical Intex with 35 points in 10th place. Revenge with 25 in 11th, and then finally NC is going to be occupying that final spot in 12th. But they are just 1 point behind Revenge. They can absolutely make that climb, but the dream to make top 6, not quite there, I think.
And this will be a team to watch for today, right? We talk about the top six dream, but realistically, top 3 is the goal, and only one team out of this 3 is in that top 3, and that team is Farang. But we also have to pay attention to both Geek Fam and Quick Reactions. I think Geek Fam, this roster has been around for quite a long time. You know, there has been ups and downs, but the recent major, they did perform pretty well, finishing, I believe, in 4th place, just slightly behind Farang, who did finish the major in 3rd. And it's safe to say that some of that major momentum is still being carried forward.
Well, I mean, it just goes to show that the team is showing that level of consistency, right? And it's a good thing to have the consistency going into tournaments. You sort of know what to expect in your performance. You understand that you are going to have a level of play that's always going to be there. It's like some teams, and I think a very good example, I'm going to have to bring this up. I hate to do this. AV Radicals, and they literally play as their name implies. It's a radical team. They either go really high up or they go really, really far down. And the massive disadvantage to that playstyle is that if you're not able to get those really big games off, the team just spirals out of control. And it could reach a point where if you don't have that magical round, you don't make a comeback at all. You're just stuck in the middle of the pack, or heck, you can even be towards the bottom of the ranks.
Absolutely. Some of these players have actually been in that spot before. When we look, I think, almost a year ago, PXG Radicals, some of these players were in that team.
Yes.
And they also had a tremendously good group stage, but the finals weren't really what they were looking for, right? They didn't even make top 6 in that finals. Almost a year later, They reformed into AV Radicals, the super team from the PH regions. They won the major, but right now it feels like they're back in the same spot where they have a great group stage, but this finals isn't really working out thus far. Thankfully, they have 6 more rounds to make it happen.
Yeah, 6 more rounds, and of course, 4 of those rounds are going to be on maps that they're very favorable on. I'm wondering if this is going to be a big change for the team, and maybe, just maybe, not just AV Radicals, but some of the other teams that favor Alpine and Purgatory can actually get those crucial number of points to start overtaking their competitors on that leaderboard. Because, Husky, I think you brought a pretty good point, right? Everyone that's made it here is aiming for top 3. You want to get top 3 because that brings you to the next stage of competition. You don't make top 3, your journey ends here.
Yeah, and I think out of the 3 teams in top 3, 2 of the teams were teams that made it pretty close to a good finish at the recent major, right? I think GeekFam, they almost entered top 3. I think Access Esports also had an overall pretty good run, just that finals wasn't really the last 2 days that they were looking for. It wasn't their day. But right now, you look at all these teams, and AV Radical is at the bottom of the list, which is pretty concerning, considering how this was supposed to be.
Pretty concerning, you say.
The era, right? The era of the PH regions. It took them 2 years to win a major, and right now, it seems like that slump is beginning over again, and it's happening a bit too quickly.
Yeah, but let's see. I mean, the team, they've got a lot to show. They have proven in the past they have the mechanical capabilities of being able to pull, I'm just going to call it miracle rounds, because that's really what they are. It just takes 1 or 2, right? I think 1 or 2 miracle rounds, just disassemble the competition, take all the points away, grab that booyah, and really just hoard those points. Maybe they get through to top 3 that way, but it really depends on their playstyle today, because again, 6 games, fresh start. I think that's the most important thing, right? Having a day between competition allows your team to reset, to take a look at what happened in the previous day and sort out some of the issues that you might be having. Now, the thing is, we don't know what could be the problem. If it's a map issue, maybe it could be a coordinational problem. Maybe one of the team members are not feeling good, because let's be realistic, sometimes you wake up on competition day, maybe you just got a cold, you're not feeling well, you can't play at your best.
It's one of those just cold snaps, right? You don't get to put in the performance that you always have. But for you guys who are big Free Fire fans and have been following the Snapdragon Pro Series, we have some news for you. It is the Jakarta Finals. This is the Challenge Finals happening on 4th and 5th February 2023. It's going to be in Jakarta, so do stay tuned to that. I know it's a few months out, but I'm already getting excited.
Well, you know the good news, now that we've got the dates revealed, you can mark it down on your calendar.
Cancel your plans?
No one has plans that far. Yeah. Mark it down your calendars. Make sure you tune into the broadcast. It's going to be absolutely amazing. But yeah, we're giving you a big heads up because we want you to watch the show.
Yes, please do. Support your favorite teams.
Yes, exactly.
Speaking about favorite teams, speaking about teams that have been performing, I think X-Band has to be the talk of the town, the talk of this evening. 125 points in first place.
So far ahead.
So far ahead. More than 50 points. That's an average of 2.5 rounds for most teams, and those teams have to be on a good day to achieve that result. So this is going to be a tall mountain to climb. I think it's safe to say that if you're an X-Band supporter, they have already qualified. Not for Jakarta yet, but they're one step closer. They've qualified for challenge groups where we will be fighting against Free Fire teams from other regions like Thailand, Indonesia, which is going to be a league of its own. But right now, at least they have 1 foot through the door.
I don't want to be the bad guy, but I kind of feel like I have to be. If today is not their day, if today is not the day, I don't think the team is 100% safe. I think on average, the top teams, if they're able to get those points in, if you get the booyah, about 20 points. Right?
20 points.
Yeah. So 20 points for first. Second, I'd say on average is like 15 points. And then third is probably 10.
So they have to have 6 bad rounds.
6, when I say bad, I mean like they gotta go down in 10th place, they gotta pick no kills, absolutely nothing. I don't think it can happen, to be completely honest, because we know Expand, the team is good, right? They understand the maps, they understand their play style, they have amazing team coordination. Those boys can aim heads, they can click people. So I don't think they'll bomb out, but I think we also need to be realistic in our expectations. Like, we say they're safe, but I think let's sort of keep it
benefit of doubt, right?
Yeah.
Teams can still overtake them.
Exactly.
I mean, the story of Expand itself is crazy. This is a team of 4 chats who were previously in different teams. They previously play against each other for more than a year, and suddenly they decide to come together, form a team, and almost won the major on their first attempt. I mean, it could not get any crazier than that.
Could you imagine they just made a phone call? They just decided, like, I'm sick of this guy clicking my head. Yellow, do you want to make a team with me so we don't have to play against each other anymore?
They have one of the best hit clickers, right? They have Cobra in close range. They have EXO.
Wait. Cobra doesn't even have to click heads. I'm pretty sure if he just looks at you, you're dead. Guy's amazing.
But they do have one of the best snipers on the team. I think Axel. That guy clicks hits.
Yeah, absolutely. Axel, if there's a guy, I'd say Axel is the bomb. Amazing player. Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm excited to see these guys play. If anyone's curious and you're wondering, like, where's my free fire? FYI, the players are still joining the lobby, so calm down. Okay, just relax with us. We're going to jump into... Okay, no, I lied. They're jumping into the game right now. So let's jump into our first match of today. It's going to be Purgatory. Let's see who claims the booyah for our first round. Is it going to be a new face, or is it going to be an oldie? We'll find out.
We do have a lot of new faces in this tournament itself. I think when we look at some of the teams, I think AKO also has a bit of changes in their members. Previously, Black was international, and then right now they're back to auto knockout. A very familiar name. But if we look at, quick reaction, Shanks is already gone to work. Ray Meow, he's down. And that's the core member of AV Radicals out of the picture. The very early skirmishes, and this has been a problem that has been plaguing AV Radicals since yesterday, where they were constantly challenged by multiple teams on this hot drop, and they have not been finding a way out of this.
This is very surprising, right? Because we know for a fact for the longest time, AV Radicals, they always go for the high tier loot zone. That's their signature playstyle because they want to try and get that loot and to snowball. And the fact that QR was able to come in and contest, and if you think about it, they crippled AV Radicals, which means it's going to be much tougher for this team to potentially make that comeback happen. That's just, I mean, this is how you counter that playstyle, right? If you know a team that always goes for for the high tier loot zone, you know they're always going to be there. You know who you're going up against.
And I think for AV Radicals, something has to change. Clearly, this is not working out. Quick Reaction isn't the only team that has hot dropped them. I think even yesterday, AV Radicals were constantly contested by different squads.
Yeah.
And they haven't been able to find a way out of this mess. And right now, starting on the back foot is going to hurt their chances even more.
Yeah.
Considering that they need at least 50, well, at least I think 22 points to tie up with third place. And that is if Farang didn't even get a single point this round, which doesn't seem to be the case.
Oh no, Mr. D, he's found one! Yeah. AV Radicals are gone. They're gone. They're gone. Oh,
it has not gotten any better for the team.
Why did they have to go down already? I mean, this is game one of the day. The team did not do the expected, I guess.
No, not even the bare minimum. I think for a team that has such a great result just a month ago, I think this is not something that you would even remotely expect from them. It's borderline unacceptable.
It's a disaster.
It's a disaster.
Take a look at that bottom left corner, Husky. We've got 3 teams converging and poor Quick Reactions pincered between the 2 of them. This is a knuckle sandwich if I ever saw one.
Honestly, I think for these situations have been pretty common. We've seen this a lot of times, and usually the team in the middle somehow finds a way through. But I think for QR, they should feel pretty comfortable. They have that high ground. They're not really contested by the third party. I say that, but Mr. D has already downed Kazu. It's AKO going on an absolute tear at the start of the round. They also want to make it into the top 3, and they're actually not too far away. If not, I think if you get 2 good rounds for them, AKO would have a really great chance of qualifying for the challenge groups. And it's a good redemption story for this roster that has seen so many hype, but they never truly delivered on that big stage.
Yeah, mixed results, I'd say. I do agree with that. Unfortunately, you sprinkling your little unlucky pixie dust here on Quick Reaction. You said they weren't going to get caught. I mean, Shanks could survive, so it might not be so bad, but I think I might have to eat my words here.
Sometimes you just have to love Free Fire physics.
Did they not see it? I don't think they did.
No, they did not.
It's a miracle. Shanks is going to survive. Unless he gets caught out by AKO. But I think it's going in a completely different direction. So we're going to be seeing Quick Reaction a little bit later on. But we do have a team camping a revival point here. Just making sure if someone wants to go for a revive, they're here to pop their hits before they get a chance.
Well, if Shanks can get to a revival point, he can bring the rest of his team back. So Quick Reaction still in the game. Very, very much in the game.
But I don't know, I feel like they're so far away from anything. And if I'm not mistaken, bottom left corner of the map, I don't think there really is a revival point. He's got a long way to go if he wants to get that revival in.
And so far, all of those choke points have been locked down by teams such as GeekFam.
Oh no.
Who is basically guarding this entire bridge. It's safe to say that you're right. I don't think Shanks has a way to get through without getting his head blown off unless GeekFam moves away. But so far, it seems like there's no reason for them to, because there is a revival point and a buy point together at Central. So GeekFam would basically just set up shop here until the circle forces them to move.
Yeah, I actually like this strat where teams decide to sort of sit on top of a revival point for a little bit to see if they can maybe capture one of those injured teams. It's a nice play style. It's not very active. I don't want to say it's the best play style, but it's a great way to sort of get those not freebies, but probably easier pickoffs, because you know you're going to be encountering wounded teams. I think in rare circumstances you'll get a healthy team coming in because they want to also camp the revival point, but I do like what GeekFam is doing. I think there's really no reason to press the issue in this match. It's just game one of the day. You don't have to
just
go all out.
Just be patient, right? It's just the first circle.
Yeah.
Some teams would even go as far as tanking that first circle and seeing if they can catch some late.
Hey, yo,
rotators.
everyone tanks the first 2 circles. Okay, that's the meta.
There's a right way and a wrong way to do it. I think those that are poorly executed are those that rotate so late and they end up walking to choke point. I mean, for Expand, this is not kind of the start that they were looking for. Well, actually for RV, excuse me, kind of getting pummeled by ITX from that high ground, losing Gym Quest at the start of the round, at the start of this engagement. But they do have that fishing hut, so it's a pretty safe spot for them to be in if they want to cross that river as well. So far, it seems like ITX would just keep a bird's eye view out for them.
I don't really think there's a reason to go down that hill. I think it's just safer. You got that free pick. It's fine. If you go down the hill, there's no cover. So just sort of keep RV pincered here. Make them not feel comfortable. I mean, RV's devastated too because they lost their vehicle. They were scouting around. They were looking to maybe try and go first teams themselves. Maybe they were trying to go for another loop area themselves. But if we take a look here, we've actually got a bit of a firefight between 3 teams, Bloodyhead, NC, and we've got the orange team here.
Just a bit of a love taps exchange between 2 teams, but NC, they do have that low ground and a buy point to work with. The concerning part is that Bloodyhead, they are slowly coming in from that eastern side.
Actually, Axis is hot on their tails as well. It could be a 4-way team fight here.
It could be. But I feel like if you are UMB, you should be less concerned because you do have that high ground to kind of fall back to, I think...
Oh, Morgana?
Morgana? Uh-oh. Right into the clutches of NC. I mean, Ace should get a free kill. Morgana tries to knife him, tries to cut him with a sickle and somehow gets back up in time and even gets the initial kill. And now Morgana finds the courage to push on forward. NC somehow losing this compound for absolutely... there's no reason for Bloodyhead to win this, but somehow they are. 3 members of NC are already down. Bloodyhead off to a ridiculous start.
I love the fact that Morgana just went in there. I think in a lot of cases you're worried about a team just shotgunning you in the face. Just walks in, jukes around, totally fine. He's shaking his little twinkle fingers here, grabs a free easy kill for himself and his team. NC will be pretty disappointed with that, but Husky, it looks like we're going to be jumping into a big fight here. Rev is here and they've actually eliminated Morgana. Yeah,
and Revenge so far off to a decent start. I mean, we have seen this team before, Decos. These guys, the X-Freedom Rumbles, the X powerhouse team that has been competing for a very long time. And I think they were previously from Orange Esports as well, right? They did play for a short stint with Orange Esports for Season 4 up to the Major. And in fact, I think the Major is not a good reflection of what this team is capable of because they did so well in the regular league in FFCS.
Yeah.
But we gotta keep that on the side because we have just seen Auto Knockout getting eliminated by GeekFam. Off screen.
Unfortunate.
Bloodyhead up against Axis. And they're also pretty much occupied by Revenge as well. So this is kind of a 3-way fight that you were talking about earlier on.
Yeah. I just think this is going to turn into a full blown out fight. And who has the better position? Because Axis, they've only really got this one single rock to protect them. You got Bloodyhead who does have a full on compound. But it looks like it's just going to be a 1v1 here because Rev has actually decided to retreat. And I think that was the safer play. Going into a potential 3-team engagement, very dangerous, very volatile. You cannot guarantee your team's safety. And you're going to make a lot of noise. What if another team comes in and decides to drop in as a 4th?
Yeah, I mean, we have two other teams nearby with Expand, who is just chilling. And I think it's safe to say that Expand probably wouldn't make too many aggressive moves because they are so far in the lead. It's all about playing safe and keeping that position in first place. Bloodyhead is kind of the interesting team because they have gone through another roster change. With Morgana and Mark being the two remaining pillars of the team since the very beginning. So far, they're doing pretty well. And there's a chance for Bloodyhead to make it through, but if there's a chance for RV to make it out of this, I think it looks pretty slim with GeekFam circling them like sharks.
Yeah, if there's a team you really don't want to run into to potentially be gatekept by, it's GeekFam. This is a team that's very hungry for kills. They are fantastic when it comes to deciding how they want to fight. And actually, they're just going to be sitting here? No? All right, no, I guess they're just going to loop around, go over the bridge, go over a different way. Although if they follow the road, they're going to run into Farang. I don't think you really want to run into Farang either here.
Good news for Quick Reaction. The rest of the team has been brought back by Shanks. Bad news for Quick Reaction. Now they are trapped between two other teams.
And most of their teams are probably naked, right? Yes. You come back in, you've got no loot, you've got like, what, a pistol?
Well, NC is also pretty naked because they just parachuted down. There is a chance we might see a fist fight. Honestly, I have not seen a fist fight in Free Fire. No.
I am pretty sure people would rather use their pistols, but we'll see what happens here. As we will switch over to Expand's point of view. They're actually going to try and jump onto Port Axis here. Now, we know Expand, they are the kings when it comes to all these close quarter combat. Their aim is unmatched. And Vegeta, one shot.
Yeah, I mean, just no chance at all. Axis, not ready. There is a grenade launcher on the side in the hands of Expand as well. Roy does have that ice grenade, and this just makes life so hard for Axis. Not only that they do not have enough space to wriggle around, now you take continuous damage with all these zone denials from Expand. Cobra does take a bit of fire, getting pushed by the members of Axis. Not that he's worried too much. Cobra, always the confident Chad in these close quarter combats. Roy has already got Vegeta, and also the rest of Axis Esports. No help is needed. Expand with 5 kills so far.
They almost lost Cobra, a little bit risky, but I mean, he did a fantastic job playing as bait there, and actually Quick Reaction gonna run into NC. Little do they know that both of these teams are naked.
The best part right now is that you do not know if who your opponents are. Like, everyone looks generic. Just I love this new competitive update. Just everyone looks generic. You do not know what it looks like. I mean, NC losing the third member, and Nuffy is also going to be free pickings for Frey. At the end of the day is No Escape Revolt that comes out with some of those benefits, getting these free kills.
Yeah, I mean, we've got one player left, right? We've got Ace. He's got nothing, practically. So he's probably going to have to just play the safe way, try and get that placement point. I don't expect him to grab any kills. Maybe he does get some loot on the way, but it's a very tough road.
But he has a dream.
A very big dream.
A very big dream.
Very big dream, very low percentage. Now, speaking of percentages, we know for a fact that Expand, very high percentage to potentially take this game. They are extremely looted. They've won a couple team fights so far. And if you look at their positioning on the map, I do love where they are. They're on top of the hill. They've got a bird's eye view of all these teams that are coming in. NC, they go down. I think this was to be expected, unfortunately. We've got one player left, but Syuk on the side of ITX actually getting knocked down here. He will potentially just go down. He's just... There's no way you get into a safe spot and revive, especially with Expand on your back.
And while all of that was happening, Roy is actually being kept busy, occupied by tactical intakes. We're all trapped in this shack, but with Too Fast having a grenade launcher, the job should be quick and easy. Tactical intakes getting pushed from multiple angles. The Cobra leading the charge. They will double up on Zipnu, and he is no longer an issue. The rest of tactical intakes kind of trapped behind his blue wall. Naya will only get Too Fast with the charge buster, but as Roy brings his buddy back up, Cobra will get the rest of the job done. Tactical intakes out in 6, and Expand has already gotten 10 kills.
That's what happens when you run into Expand, right? It's like the last team you want to run into at any stage of the game. Final circle, fine, because that means you didn't have to go into them at all during that match. But Expand is just, this team is looking to extend their lead, right? They've got 10 kills so far. So, yeah. They've got 10 kills so far. They're currently placed at least top 5, assuming the team doesn't get knocked out here. So really, if anything, they're poised to take this match. They've got Quick Reaction here. I think this is the final player as well. Blank all by himself, potentially going to be turning into another kill going into Expand's pocket. But I'm wondering, is another team maybe going to try and contest this? Quick Reaction goes down. Top 4 here for Expand. The question is, who's next? Now, I think the biggest contender here, GeekFam, right? They are all here. Closest contender. for Expand so far. But how about the other teams? Like, do you think there's a chance for Rev to maybe compete?
It does feel like, you know, Geek Fam is the toughest contender, right? I mean, Expand,
9 kills?
They are looking to break their record. Yesterday, they had 16 kills in their best game. You know, their worst performance was getting 4th place. That is not even close to some of what these other teams have been able to achieve remotely in 6 rounds. But now with Revenge, kind of getting pressured by Geek Fam, who are running up the hill. And just like you called it, Danny, Expand, they are putting pressure, immense pressure onto Revenge. Now Revenge, we have to pick, is it Geek Fam or is it Expand? And that allows Geek Fam to get 2 easy kills with the nade, and now they run into the main threat, which is Expand. And RPS had no idea that Cobra was right in front of him. The easy charge buster to the face. Roy does gain some distance between him and the rest of Geek Fam, and Expand will now use this space to get more kills.
Oh god, this has really crippled Geek Fam here. But luckily they were able to get the pickup. No one has gone down. Hazik goes down again. He just got picked up. But this is such an awkward fight. Revenge, unfortunately, going to be going down. Big grenades there going down. It looks like Hazik is going to try and go for this really close quarter combat. But X-Roy bests him in that fight. But wait, we've got 2 going down. Geek Fam, it's going to be the whole team. 3rd place, they get eliminated by Expand. So unfortunate, so close. But look at this last person. Axel.
17 kills for Expand so far. They've already broken the record of most kills in Snapdragon Pro Series now, totaling up at 18, but there's still some more to be picked up. Let's give it a golden 20, because the last 2 members of No Escape Revolt are just nothing. They are so vulnerable. Expand is running them down one by one. This is an easy cleanup and a guaranteed booyah for Expand to start off the last day of the Open Finals.
Well, if there's a team that doesn't need points, it's Expand.
Yes.
I'm going to be completely honest here. But they get the booyah. They got so many kills under their belt. I think we're looking at, what, 20, over 20 for this team?
So there's 20 kills and there's 32 points.
32?
32 points. Booyah is, yeah, 32.
Woo!
There's
Hello?
a reason why when this team was formed, you are correct. You're absolutely correct. Do not do that in front of Too Fast. He's too good.
Okay, just a translation for anyone that doesn't speak Malay.
Oh, you play M79 in front of Too Fast with Too Fast? No, you don't. You don't do that. But yes, this is a team that doesn't need the point but gets it anyways, because why not?
I think we might be looking at top 3 already. You know, I said keep an open mind going into the competition, but I mean, after this is the first game of the day.
I mean, they're guaranteed to go into challenge group at this stage. I think let's be fair, right? They've already locked in their spot for sure. I don't see any way that they will fall out of top 3.
There's one way, okay, but it's like it would be a bad conduct kind of way, as in like they would just not turn up to the games. They'd have to get a penalty.
Everything has to go wrong for them to not make it.
Everything just has to fall down, which I highly doubt. I mean, Expand, they're a very punctual team. They're very well mannered. I don't expect this from a team such as Expand, but if that happens, then maybe they lose their top 3 placing. But I think at this point we just gotta say, like, you know, congrats. Like, you guys, they deserve it, right? They've proven from yesterday, and of course just with 1 game today, that they're taking the competition very seriously.
We're seeing a very polarizing scene right now. We have the super team of of Malaysia, which is Expand, in first place in a very convincing fashion, and we have the super team from the PH region, AV Radicals, who got off to an absolutely abysmal start. Hasn't recovered from yesterday's performance as well.
I'm worried they got worse.
I hope not. They did have 1 round where they bomb out in 12th place as well, and you know, if there's a quota for that, they've already expanded that one. Hopefully for the rest of the day, they can at least put up a good fight, right? We are looking, they started the day in 5th or 6th place. It's still not impossible to make it top 3. In Farang didn't really have the greatest game as well, but that window is closing pretty soon.
Yeah. It's just, you can't afford to come in 12th place. I don't care if you got 4 kills, right? 4 kills does not offset 12th place.
No, it does not.
So, I mean, we've got a lot to expect here. But I mean, all it comes down to them is, again, it's just that magical round, the unicorn round. You've got to make that happen. And we've got 5 more games to go. So AV, we could see a potential comeback, but I think this is definitely something that we have to take a look at in this next game. Does AV Radicals come back? And the other question, how about the other teams that are currently placed in top 3, right? We've got Farang, we've got Axis. These teams, I think Axis did way better than Farang. Farang got wiped out pretty early on.
So I was before the broadcast started, I was talking to our BM friends. I was talking to Abiek and Ikuto about some of these teams, and I think they brought up a really good point, which I will share it right now, which is regarding AV Radicals. It's a team that functions when they have the appropriate equipment, and primarily what they love is the sniper rifles and the grenade launchers, the two main weaponry for them. And that is why they keep going for these high-tier loot zones. And this is why when the team started contesting those areas, it was very hard for AV Radicals to get anything done. You can't give them basic weaponry and want them to perform, because that's just not how the team functions.
Yeah.
And we're seeing that weakness really show in that round number 1, where they just felt completely helpless on the battlefield, contested by quick reaction, and it seems like they had no answers to it.
Yeah, I mean, we also have to remember as well, maybe they didn't get their weapon of choice when they made that drop, right? Because you see a team dropping with you, they're probably not going into panic mode. In our case, we go into panic mode. We try and find the closest, absolute closest loot area to get something. And sometimes you're just going to lose in terms of what weapons you get.
It's a dice roll, and unfortunately AV Radicals is the loser. But we do have an interview with Expand, and we're going to throw it to our friends at the BN broadcast to conduct this interview.
Okay. Kami sebenarnya membuatkan ramalan yang mana Expand hari ini nak main santai. Sebab mata dah banyak, jadi tak perlu nak terlampau agresif. Tapi Expand masih lagi agresif, masih lagi dapat buya. Adakah memang Expand akan terus dengan momentum ni?
Betul.
Kalau mengikut daripada IGL, kami akan teruskan momentum ni sampailah ke akhir game.
Oh, sampai ke akhir game. Okay. Saya daripada dulu sehingga sekarang, saya sering mengatakan DXL adalah sebagai sniper nombor 1 Malaysia. Apa pendapat Excel tentang pernyataan saya?
Saya agak malu.
Malu
Boleh malu
Boleh malu Okay. Jadi boleh tak bagi sedikit ramalan untuk game yang selepas ini, Alpine? Adakah pasukan Expand akan menukar strategi ataupun mungkin sama sahaja dan akan mendapatkan satu lagi buya untuk masuk ke dalam poket pasukan Expand?
Kalau untuk next game Alpine, kami akan gunakan sedikit lain kelainan daripada sebelum ni.
Itu yang kita nak tengok. Tapi okey, saya masih ingat lagi ketika ada berapa di bulatan yang terakhir, Expand pisahkan pemain 2-2. Sedangkan ada banyak lagi pasukan dalam tu. Jadi agak beranilah untuk Expand melakukan pergerakan sedemikian, sedangkan ramai. Mengapa tiba-tiba pecah 2-2 sedangkan boleh stick together?
Untuk mendapatkan info yang lebih banyak, terpaksa pecah 2-2.
Oh boy, nak
Betul.
nak confirm nak banyak.
Betul.
Okey, jadi soalan yang terakhir dah. Apa-apa yang Excel ataupun Expand sendiri nak katakan kepada semua peminat dan juga penyokong di luar sana?
Terima kasih kerana telah menyokong Expand dan teruskanlah support kami di Bangkok dan di Jakarta.
Confident. Itu saya suka. Baik, terima kasih di Excel.
Alright, terima kasih.
Dia cover. Kita
Okay.
Pretty interesting one.
Look, I'm very sure some people are confused because they're like, wait, we're in the English broadcast. Why are we listening to the Malay interview? So, FYI, the Malaysian side will be doing the interviews, but we have the one and only Husky to do translation. So let's start from the top. What are they actually talking about?
So Ikuto asked five questions, right? But I'll just bring you guys through this magical journey. So first of all, I think a lot of us came into this expecting that Expand would play in a more relaxed manner, that they don't chase for kills, it's all about just preserving that first place. And yet they still got Booyah, and they still got 20 kills. And Axel say that, we will continue this momentum until the very end of the day. We'll continue to play our style, and then going into Alpine, we will switch it up a bit. We have a different strategy going into Alpine, and we will get more and more Booyahs moving forward. And a lot of us also agree that Excel, we always doubt him as the best sniper in Malaysia. And he feels a bit shy about it, but take the credit. He is one of the best snipers we have. And he also says that in game number 1 just now, they split up in a 2-2 formation despite having many enemy players near them at the final circle. It was to gather more info, and they indeed put those info to good use. Last but not least, he says that because Xpand has already locked in Free Fire World Series at Bangkok, they also are confident that we will see them in Jakarta as well for the Challenge Finals.
Thank you for tuning in to Husky's Translation Services. Good job, that was amazing. But that was great though. I actually love hearing his point of view. It would be nice if I could understand it. I can understand a couple things, but
you're doing well.
It's,
getting the keywords in.
It's very slow. Anyways, you know what's not slow? Xpand's scoreline, right? They ended the round with 7,000 damage. They got 4 headshots, but you know what the most important thing is, right? It's not the survival time, it's the number of kills, it's the number of points. They got the booyah, which means they got 12 points for the round. And if we take a look, we're not going to take a look at the final scoreline. I think they got about 20-ish kills. Like Yusa was 20-ish, so about 20,
they got
30
kills,
about 30 points for the round.
32 points. To be exact.
Which puts them now in, firstly, they didn't go anywhere. They're staying in first place, 157 points. Second place, only 79. Like, they're practically doubled the competition.
Yes, almost.
Very close.
Almost hitting the 100-point difference mark. They basically monopolized most of the booyahs, right? We have given out 7 booyahs and they got 4 of it. That's more than 50% of what we have so far. I just thought of an interesting stat that could be implemented in the future. We've been talking about headshots here, headshots there, but right now the name of the game is Charged Buster and Shotgun. So one stat that I really would like to see is how many Charged Busters one-shot in a single round. That would be interesting.
Well, I mean, it would only really work for like the QCQ players, right? Like,
yeah, well,
all right,
it will be fun.
You know what's a good talking point though? Take a look at the teams from 2nd to 5th. They're all within the 70s. Auto knockout very close, right? 66, which is okay. But the big news is that 2nd to 5th, GeekFam, Axis, Farang, Quick Reaction, they are all competing for top 3. There's only 2 spots, only 2 teams from this top 4 is going to make it through. So I think the storyline is going to be these 4 teams, how they're going to approach the game, how they're going to get these points. And at the same time, are they going to maybe contest one of the teams that are currently playing in the match, right? Because we know for a fact that some teams, they do favor certain drop points. You know they're always going to be there. Sometimes you have to take risks. You realize we need to kill them now, because if we don't kill them now, there's a good chance that we get taken out early and we don't get those points.
And we'll just see if that's going to be the case. I mean, AV Radicals need to say a prayer because they need a lot of points to even make it to be in contention for top 3. But for now, we're going to take a short breather, give this team some space and time to recuperate themselves. We'll be back for more Free Fire action.
The Snapdragon Pro Series is brought to you by Snapdragon Elite Gaming, Monster Energy, and Kachi Shop.
tell me who you see when you
They don't want it with me. You got a problem with me? Love, you don't want it with me. Man, you won't ever stop me. Who y'all really got a problem with? Who y'all really trying to solve them with? Who don't really like the sound of this? Who come with me getting down to this? You better step back, get your neck cracked, get laid down where you best step. Better check that with a fresh map. Get lost now with no extract. Like, look, that's all me. Got my number, don't call me. We eating up, that's all me.
Welcome back to the Snapdragon Pro Series Free Fire Season 2, the Open Finals. We are on day number 2, which means that we are 5 rounds away from crowning our top 3 teams that will advance to the Challenge Group stage. My name is Husky, and alongside me is Danny.
Yay, we're back. Yes, we did have a 1-game break. If anyone's a little bit concerned, you're thinking like, wait a minute, why are there 5 games? It's because we've already finished our first game on Purgatory, and the team to claim the booyah for that round was Expand. And of course, they're expanding their lead, now sitting on 157 points, I believe. We will take a look at the overall standings in just a second, but they're just not stopping. And to be honest, I don't think there's a reason for the Expand train to stop at all. They are solidifying their lead. And I love the fact that during the interview, it was in Malay, but the fact that they are showing respect to the entire competition, not relaxing and just playing how they usually would. It's an amazing mindset when you go into tournaments, right? Because you are firstly showing respect to your opponents, but secondly, every competition is a competition at the end of the day.
Yeah, you want to play your best regardless of which position you're in, right? And I think if Expand keep playing their best and they're constantly and they keep dominating, it's just a testament of how good they are as a team. And again, this team was formed less than 6 months ago, so it's a very crazy thought how far they've come as a squad. I know people might argue, oh, the individual players have been around for more than 2 years, but playing as a team is a different thing.
It's very different.
And
yeah,
for them to be able to make it work, almost winning the recent major and now basically 1 foot through the door for Jakarta, if they make it top 12 in the challenge groups, I think the chances are incredibly good.
Yeah, I just have a lot of high hopes for this team. The fact that every tournament they're going to be giving their very best. They're not going to try anything. It's great practice if you think about it, right? In an actual competitive setting, and especially considering that they're going to Worlds. They're going to Worlds to represent Malaysia, to represent basically our region.
They're going to the play-ins as well, right? Because AV Radicals is the team that got invited directly.
Look, here's the thing. I actually want Expand to be the team to go through that first, because if it was... Oh, I hate to be that really bad guy, but AV Radicals, I think the team is just too inconsistent to be able to go through play-ins.
I think you're not alone in that, right? Because Expand is actually the Malaysia baby, right? Every single Malaysia Free Fire fan loves the team. I went to the watch party for the major finals, and let me tell you, they are more excited for Expand getting 2nd place than AV Radicals winning the major. That's how crazy these guys are. And for a good reason.
Yeah.
This team is showing us one of the best Free Fire performances that we had.
Oh.
And we're already in game 2 in Alpine, and of course,
Again.
history repeats itself.
Again!
With AV Radicals, it's always quick reaction. I think these guys have gotten a finger on the pulse of what AV Radicals wants to do, which is to drop this high tier zone, and they just pick them off one by one.
They're about to get Wine as well, and we know for a fact that Wine, he is one of the biggest players on AV Radicals roster. If there's someone that you want to have on your team fight, it's going to be Wine, but looks like AV, they're making that comeback happen. They got the revive onto Tanamo. Wine is down, but I think the team is going to make the comeback here, Husky.
And they better do, because if they get knocked out again, then it's safe to say that they can kiss their chances
Sayonara.
goodbye.
Yeah.
But they got 2 kills. I think they got 3, in fact, with one last member from Quick Reaction.
Yes, I think they're about to get 3. Yeah, they're going to get that one final pick off in the compound. But ooh, I think for anyone that was cheering for AV Radicals here, got to be feeling a big sigh of relief. The team is still
dice rolls don't come often, right? Like sometimes you can't keep doing this and expect to get the same result. This is one of those situations where great, you got those 4 kills. You know, you survived for a bit longer, and you know you can celebrate for a while. But there's 4 more rounds to go. Is this going to be the same occurrence for the rest of the round?
But maybe this is the snowball that they need now, right? Because they just had that fight there. They got 4 kills under their belt. They got the entire area to loot for themselves. Remember, right? You said just now that they do have a very expensive taste in weapons. So the best way to do it, high tier loot zone. So it's all theirs. Maybe we're going to start seeing AV just really go off this match.
That's the best case scenario.
That's the best case scenario, yes.
Usually, I'm a huge advocate for AV Radicals, and I still am. You know, I'm not changing my bandwagon. I'm just saying that
this is the perfect game for it. Because okay, firstly, they got the high tier loots. They got 4 kills. Kills do not give you any tactical advantage to give you points, but it's Alpine as well. We know Alpine is one of their best maps, so this is good news. But I'm not going to say this is guaranteed.
I'm being realistic,
top 3.
right?
Yeah,
I'm being objectively
realistic. I'm excited though. I do want to see a comeback happen for this team. I would love for them to be part of that top 4, that top 4 team race, right? The race for top 3. I think it's still very possible, but it's a long, long path. And speaking of path, there are other teams also going on this path, and the first one is Farang.
Farang didn't really have a great round number 1, but they are very much still in that rat race to reach top 3. In fact, you just pointed out, 2nd to 5th place, incredibly close.
Yeah.
1 round can make the difference. I think Farang is one of those contenders.
Oh.
With that being said, I think, AKO, they did lose one of their members early on. Farang actually getting 4 kills as well. Not a complete wipeout, so there are some extra points on the map for these teams to get later on.
It's just very true, right? Especially when you let those teams get those revives in. 3 more bodies, 4 more bodies maybe to grab those kills, but
I think the average points that each team has gotten for themselves ever since the revival system was introduced has been increased.
Yes.
People just get revived, right?
Well, going off of the league, I think the average was like 50, sometimes 60 if there were a lot of revives. So I think in general you're looking at like, what, 54 maybe? 54 total kills, so that's about 10 revives at least. I don't remember the numbers for Alpine revives though, because there are certain maps where it's much easier to get those revives, right? But we'll find out.
Otherwise, get Revolt against Bloody Hit. At this choke point, Fierce will kind of winning out. Let's have a higher fire rate with his weapon, so it's a bit hard for No Escape Revolt to kind of do any meaningful damage up in close range. Bloody Hit not really out of the water just yet, but they do have a compound to work with. You can see the Team Quest is getting absolutely pressured to retreat, and Mark from that off angle is giving so much problems for No Escape Revolt, and there's nothing that they can do. Bloody Hit should be able to pick up a couple of free kills along the way.
Yeah, that's going to be Sia going down, so it's going to be a 4 versus 3 situation. But I don't think anything's going to come out of it, right? Yeah, they... Oh, no, there we go. Final person for RB. I was like, where is their logo? I couldn't see it on the map. Well,
Geekfam also got a free kill from long range as well, so Bloody Hit knows that there's a third party somewhere there. But Revenge is also nearby.
I wonder if they saw the angle, because the most important thing is trying to figure out what angle the shots are coming from. Because I think if they have information for GeekFam, they can decide whether or not they maybe want to try and contest against GeekFam. And there's a lot of compounds. I think this wouldn't be a terrible decision to try and pursue, but I don't think that's happening here. GeekFam are just sort of on the move, but instead we're going to switch on over here to NC's point of view, as it looks like they might actually grab some kills here. Oh, come on.
Up against Revenge. Again, Esports, Esports, players have some great moments in the past few months. Torm is completely isolated. They've just lost Decos. So this fight is pretty much done and dusted before even Torm.
Yeah.
False praise. Easy kill for Asta.
Yeah, very unfortunate there for Revenge, but luckily they at least got out with 2. We don't quite know if they're going towards a revival point. Oh, they found one. All right, so we're going to get the revive anyway here for Revenge. So they could have Revenge unless Morgana comes in to ruin the party, because these revivals, they do take quite a while to happen.
Oh, and it finally did happen. Thank goodness for Revenge. But those 2 members are naked. They do not have any weaponry.
Oh, Deco just flew right on top of Bloody Head. I don't know if they've seen him.
I feel like the call right now for Revenge is to send those 2 members as far away as possible to start a new colony elsewhere on the map.
On a different planet too, maybe.
Yeah, on a different planet. Just let iPans and Era kind of hold down this area. And Bloody Head decides to disengage, play the safe route, go into the circle. leave Revenge to their own devices.
Not gonna lie, I think that was a big win for Revenge. Because it could have just been a 2 versus 4, but the fact that they decided to play safe, it gives Revenge a opportunity to loot up, get ready to go into that next potential circle. For all we know, they could get their revenge.
It's also how Bloody Hit generally plays, right?
Yes.
Well, when we first saw them a year ago, they have the tendency to take fights unnecessarily. And sometimes it doesn't work out. But I think the new iteration of Bloody Hit generally don't get these kind of engages going until they get a pick off.
Self-restraint.
Very self-restrained.
Yeah.
It feels a bit odd, but I do like this Bloody Hit, you know, for that has been playing in this recent season. They're just a lot more control, a lot more discipline on the team. Barring that sometimes they still face inconsistency, but at least they're not self-inflicting.
Yeah, sometimes it's from another party. You don't have control over that kind of
Yeah, it's better than
pain.
running into a fight and losing it, right? That's kind of the initial issue with them.
Yeah.
It's good to see that, you know, they have grown.
Yeah, very quiet game though. I was actually expecting a lot more action to happen, but it seems like teams are showing a lot of respect. I may have jinxed it. Re2's actually getting shot down there, but he does get picked up. It's all good.
We're looking for a big round for AV Radicals, and I think they're getting it because they are two different teams fighting right in front of them. And AV Radicals, they have a clear angle. And this is going to cause a lot of pain for Tactical Intact because they are getting pressured by Farang, but they can't really get out of that tent thanks to AV Radical. The question is, will AV Radical decide to gatekeep it or push this one? So far, they are slowly kind of poking at the Sleeping Bear. They're doing a really good job at it. The UAV also spotting out the members of Farang in Tactical Intact.
You know, this could be really bad news for Farang if they decide to try and go around the tent. But oh no, Tactical Intacts, they came out early. If they just waited, maybe AV Radicals comes in to join that fray, but Nael goes straight down onto the ground. I don't think there's going to be a pickup at all. Zipno going to be the next one to go down. Farang is just running circles around the squad. And I think we're just going to be looking at an elimination here, unfortunately. But for Farang, that's some kills, that's some points, because this is a team that needs them if they want to guarantee that top 3.
If they make it out of this, because the moment that skirmish happened, we saw on the radar AV Radicals instantly spring into action, and they have all these explosives.
The Jinx!
And Farang had no chance at all. They did the dirty work, but AV Radicals reaped the rewards. 10 kills so far, a great round for them.
Oh, the Jinx, the Jinx. I mean, I did say the team, they really needed the points, the placements and the kills. I mean, at least they got the kills out of it,
I mean,
right?
taking out Farang is also huge as well, because that is one of the contenders for top 3.
Maybe AV could come in and deny Farang from getting that top 3.
That is going to be painful for Farang, because they came so close just a month ago. And to do it again,
it could be a curse for all we know. But speaking of curses, you know what is a curse? Fighting Expand.
Yes.
And this is going to be one hell of a curse because firstly, it's Revenge. This was a team that got crippled in the early game. They had to revive 2 players that came back in naked. We know for a fact that they're probably not fully equipped to fight into Expand. We got Deco's just going down. We got iPads going down. I think the whole team is just going to go down here. Husky, I'm so sorry.
blink of an eye. Expand just makes quick work of Revenge.
That makes no sense. Expand makes quick work of Revenge. That's fine. English is not my language.
English is not my primary language.
Jeez. Speaking of English, though, it seems like we're going to be looking at a big fight here. Look at this, though. Bloody Head and Axis. These are 2 teams. Firstly, we know Axis, another team competing for that top 3 placement going up against Bloody Head. If they go down here, this is going to be them not getting the points that they're looking for. Bloody Head, though, I think it's going to be a 2 versus 2 situation. And with that glue wall, both teams trying to get the revives in. But look at this Mark on the other side trying to get that kill. Actually gets it. Oh, no. It seems like it's disaster.
And AV Radicals also made it to the scene just in time to get a free kill as well.
Oh!
And Mark did respond in kind, but Bloody Head, he's the only standing member for Bloody Head. I think it's a good time for us to talk about the newest acquisition for Axis Esports. Xac, one of the original snipers, starting from Geek Fam, went to Todak, and right now with Axis. And it's putting up quite a show. But is it enough though? Because AV Radicals, they're on top of Axis. And look at the team logo. They are just giving Axis no room at all. Wine with 1, Vegeta does get an exchange, but it doesn't really matter because Wine comes in and Axis, they go down. AV Radicals have 13 kills so far.
Oh, and it looks like Geek Fam is actually going to be going down here to NC of all teams. Husky!
How the turntables in round 2.
The English is very good here. Speaking of, though, we could be seeing a bit of disaster here. Firstly, we're seeing a very big snowball coming in from AV Radicals. This is the typical AV that we're looking for. This could be the unicorn round that they're looking for to try and make it into that top list to compete for top 3. But can they keep this going?
I think they're well on their way.
They gotta make that unicorn. It's on Alpine of all maps.
Yeah, and
their
it's 15
signature
kills.
map.
Oh, yeah, Axel stole it. Come on.
Oh, dirty.
No, this is setting up to be an AV Radicals versus Expand final circle fight.
Look, here's the thing, right? I don't think if you're AV Radicals, you care if you don't get the Booyah because of Expand. Because you are not competing against Expand.
Yeah, competing against the other teams.
Yeah, the other 4 teams that are trying to get the top 3. Technically, it's only top 2 spots because the first one's been guaranteed to Expand. But AV, definitely, right? Every kill for this team is going to count. And I think they're only really 30 points away to catch up. I think if they get 30-ish points from this round, they're probably almost caught up already.
And 2 of the teams in contention for second and third have been knocked out pretty early on, right?
Yes.
Keith and Farang are not in the equation anymore. And with AKO kind of constantly pressuring Expand, there is a good chance that AV Radicals will be able to capitalize on it.
Maybe they could.
Too fast.
They could pincer. They could actually pincer onto this.
Happen. They clearly know that this is happening. They finished on Pablo.
Expand!
They cleared that last speed bump. Expand getting absolutely ran over by AKO. This is the chance for AV Radicals to pounce. They are slowly approaching this area. Expand only has EXO left alive, but will it matter though? Because AV Radicals are slowly closing in.
Oh, here we go. This is going to be AKO fighting for their lives. It's 2 versus 4, but I don't think there's any chance. They go down, and Expand goes down as well. AV on 22 kills. Husky, we are looking at this unicorn round. This is what they needed. There's 1 more person left. It's Morgana. It's basically guaranteed at this point.
I mean, Expand set the record for 20 kills in a single round, and AV Radicals was like, We'll one up here. We'll do 23.
Actually, wait. Do you see how big this circle is and there's only 1 dude left?
Now, how long would it take for them to find Morgana?
Well, he's... Okay, wait. If the players are following the normal tournament format, then everyone should be wearing the same clothes. I was going to say he's wearing a red costume, so maybe obvious. We'll find out.
He's not the most convincing Rock.
Not really, no. Rocks don't normally have wings or pets or white hair or a crown. It would be hilarious.
They found
him. I was going to say, it would be hilarious if Morgana was able to somehow 1v1 everybody. Like, as they slowly come to where he is, he's just like, I'm going to take yours out.
There's a world where that is a possibility, but not this one.
I don't think it's absolutely a possibility with Cobra. I think if there's a player for that to happen, Cobra would come out of a 4v1.
Yeah.
But you know what? Firstly, we've got to congratulate AV Radicals for pulling off the unicorn round that they've been looking for. They are so far behind after their first round. I think they got 2 kills, 0 points, like 0 placement points because they placed last. They made a massive comeback, 23 points.
Kills, so they have 35 kills off of this one round.
Sir, I'm going to make a prediction. I don't remember the placements exactly, but I have a feeling that they probably would have made it to 5th place.
I think they're now in contention for second and third, just off of this one round. And also based on the fact that Axis didn't make it far, Farang didn't make it far, and Geekfam probably made it the farthest, but
I think 5th place. I seriously think they scrape by. They're sitting in 6th spot, right? 5th spot right now.
We'll find out in a bit. But so far, I think for AV Radicals, they can breathe just a minor sigh of relief, right? Knowing that they put themselves so within touching distance of qualifying for Challenge Group Stage. We do have the replay, and if Game 1 is Expand highlight montage, it's safe to say that Game 2 is AV Radicals highlight montage. This would have happened if AV Radicals didn't survive this initial draw.
Yes.
This was a scary moment for the team.
This was terrifying. I thought that they were going to lose it outright because they just looked like they were so out of place, but they survived. All 4 players surviving. They did not need to have any revives happen. They secured the entire area to themselves because they also didn't have to compete with anyone else afterwards. It was just the snowball effect.
So the condition for AV Radicals to have a good round is first, drop the high tier loot zone. Second,
secure the high tier loot zone.
Secure the high tier loot zone, which means wiping out everyone that hot drops them. Second, just win the round. So they just have to complete step 1, which is the hardest step of all.
I love the fact that it's just a 2-step, you know? It's so easy. Guarantee high tier loot zone win. I don't know if that's how it works. I was thinking maybe there's a couple more steps in between. You know, the other step that says start pushing the snowball.
Don't run into expand.
Don't snowball into expand. Oh, goodness. But then again, I have to say, during that final fight where we saw Expand, AV, and I think it was Axis, they were super lucky because Axis really cut down Expand, right? We saw 3 of them getting knocked down.
And this has been kind of the storyline for the entire round, where AV Radicals were not really doing all the work. They were just picking up where other teams left off.
The crumbs, yeah.
The crumbs. The good crumbs, the good stuff, right? The AKO did the
oh,
work.
It's AKO, excuse me. I thought it was Axis. My bad.
When they took out, I think when they took out Farang, it was, you know, Farang deleted NC and AV Radicals was like, well, thank you very much. Now this is mine. And they've done it multiple times. And this is how much they got just around standings. AV Radical with 35 massive points. But Expand did well as well. They have 15 points. Not too shabby. Not that it matters. All that matters is that AV Radicals have a great round that can put them within contention of top 3.
I cannot wait to see the total leaderboard because I want to see how close this team is into potentially contesting for that top 3. And then ultimately, this is where the race really begins, right? All these teams more or less in the same place, maybe a couple points here and there, but they are on equal footing. This is where you need to spring off that jumping board and really dive into the pool. You got to get those points, you got to get those kills, and if there's a time to target your opponents, it is now, which means either hot dropping or looking back through your notes. Do any of these teams have potential routes that they like to take? Do they like to drop in particular places? We know AV, they love the high tier loot zone. For example, maybe we see Farang dropping into AV Radical and trying to compete with them.
I feel like this is the easiest team to sort of snipe because they always go for high tier loot zone. And in fact, this is one of the fastest rounds I've seen in Free Fire.
Yes,
15
agreed.
minutes, right? The average is 17 and a half, but 15 minutes means that AV Radicals was speed running the round.
Dude, I was like, hang on a minute, there's so much space left. Where is everybody? It's just like, oh, it's just Morgana. You know, what can you really do? But it was an incredibly fast round because everyone was just like, party under the bridge.
Yeah, basically that. I mean, AV Radicals is one of the teams that if there's this term that we call overheat, right? You are on a roll and suddenly you just overheat.
You're too hot.
You're too hot, and then you ended up, you know, giving up space, giving up chances. But AV Radicals is a team that rolls really well with this mechanic. They don't really overheat, they just get better and better. So we'll see if that is going to be the case. We do have an interview this time with AV Radicals, so we're just gonna send it over, see how that one plays out.
Yesterday we had internet because there's no current.
I see. So you guys have to play with whatever you guys have.
Yeah.
What to do when?
Yeah, but I just want to ask some comment from you. So quick reaction is now disturbing you guys in the blue zone. So previously they didn't do that, but suddenly quick reaction come to disturb you guys in the blue zone. So what's your comment on that?
Just come at us and we'll have points.
Oh, all right. My next question to you. So, basically now AV Radicals still have the chance since the point for the second and third slot is still there. So, do you think AV Radicals can keep this momentum up and maybe get another 2 or 3 booyah?
We will try our best to have more points.
I see. Is there still a internet connection issue in your place, or now it's getting better?
It's already better because there's current.
All right, I see. Then we would like to see what AV Radicals can do. But so any last word from AV Radicals to all your fans out there?
Thank you for supporting us, and please do continue supporting us. We'll make you even prouder.
All right. We'll see you AV Radicals and of course Tadamo in the next game.
The Snapdragon Pro Series is brought.
All right, so he said that, I'm kidding, he's we'll understand the interview. But it was actually pretty interesting to know that they struggled yesterday because they actually didn't have a solid connection to the servers. And we know that, so I'm very sorry to all of our Filipino viewers. We understand the internet is an issue. I've been there. It is, I don't know how you do it. You need mental fortitude to play on Filipino connections.
It hasn't been a good climate time for the Philippines, right? They recently
they had a typhoon.
Yeah, they had a typhoon, I think, last week as well. So definitely not easy for them to play, but it's good to see them in good spirits today, right? They got the current back, they got the momentum back. All of this made possible by our friends and partners over Snapdragon Elite Gaming when winning matters. They've been with us for so long, I felt like we are a family right now. So it's thanks to them that we get to see not just great Free Fire, but great other titles as well. We even had LAN events in Thailand recently, so these guys are awesome. But of course, we also have to thank Monster Energy for allowing everyone to unleash the beast within them. So check them out at www.monsterenergy.com/gaming to get your daily gaming fixes. But last but not least, if you guys want great offers for top-up, great deals, do check out www.kachishop.com. You'll get all your gaming top-up needs.
Got everything there. Now, of course, we're going to leave you with our sponsors if you want to grab a drink or maybe make a top-up happen for your Free Fire account. We're going to go for a quick break before we jump into the next game, so don't go anywhere. We're going to jump into some more Free Fire right after this.
The Snapdragon Pro Series is brought to you by Snapdragon Elite Gaming, Monster Energy, and Kachi Shop.
Welcome back to the Snapdragon Pro Series Free Fire Season 2 Open Finals. We are pretty much 1 foot deep in the waters of Free Fire.
So we're not 1 foot deep. We are literally in the hole, okay? We're not getting out of here.
We are half a body in the ocean of great Free Fire games.
So we're at the bottom of the, what is it, the Marina Bay Trench. We're pretty deep into the competition.
I'm Husky. This is my diver partner, Daniel Lee. She has seen the depths of Free Fire.
Well, actually, we've both seen it. Come on.
We have.
Okay, we've been to the depths of hell and back, and I have to say this final day today has been crazy. We had yesterday AV Radicals struggle to even put their foot into top 6. Now, after the second game of this literally last day of competition, they're now sitting in second place after a single round. The unicorn round that they've always been looking forward to. And we finally see it. And I think we also found the reason for it, right? During the interview just now, for anyone that didn't tune in, the team actually had connections issues yesterday. And it kind of makes sense. We understand, and everyone from Southeast Asia, we know that the Philippines, they do struggle with connections sometimes, and especially with competitions, it's really tough to just stop a tournament entirely because of internet problems. So unfortunately, they had to sort of stick with it yesterday, but I'm so glad today that the internet line is actually working. It's working with the team, because look at where they are, second place.
And it's only going to get better from here on out, hopefully. 4 more rounds for them to cement their spot. It's not about the race for first place. They can let X-Band have it, but if they can make it to challenge groups, that is already good enough. Because if you're in challenge groups, if you're the top 3 of each region, you compete with the top 3s of other regions. And if you are top 12 in challenge group, you're flying to Jakarta. And they're already going to Bangkok as the direct invite team for FFWS. So Jakarta is going to be an icing on the cake.
Exactly. So there's a lot on the line for these teams, and if there's a time to do it, it's got to be now, because we're also down to our final 4 games of the tournament. Yes, I say tournament because today is the final day for these teams to grab those points. So let's do it. We're going to have to find out and see who's going to get those final 2 spots, because I think at this point we're going to say Expand, guaranteed that top place. Who's going to be going with them? We can only guess.
We can only guess. The game has started. Let's find out if AV Radicals will get challenged again, because they said, well, quick reaction, you want a hot droppers and those high tail loot zones, bring it on. It's 3 points for us.
Look, I see this. Look, quick reaction. I see that green there. Look.
They better live up to that.
Okay, now this.
Okay,
they stopped.
No high tail loot zone.
Okay, wait.
It's pretty close.
Wait, everyone's stopping beforehand. Are they trying to dodge?
It's one of those moments where after you smack talk someone and you're like, yeah, I'm not really sure if I want to, take the risk. Repetition is well, they are running into tactical intake, so I guess this is still kind of a pseudo hot drop. We'll see how this one pans out. As a time turner,
why?
Losing that close quarter fight, and it seems like we are kind of still in that loop of AV Radicals not really having a great start to these kind of situations.
They can never seem to get a break in these games. Like, they try to dodge quick reaction, and instead they run into tactical intakes. I think this is actually going to be 2 players down, almost 3 if Ramiel goes down as well. Not Ramiel, he's got the time turner. It will be just enough for him to survive, but oh my goodness, again, a disaster of an opening. Very reminiscent of game 1 here, but here's the thing. Can Ramiel survive? He won't. So who's the lone survivor? Is it Ritus? I think we didn't see Ritus drop.
I think it's Tanamo, because he's the only one who didn't drop with the team.
Yeah, where is Tanamo actually? Good question.
I don't know what happened. Well, at least there are still remnants of AV Radicals in this round. They're not completely out of it just yet, despite it being a abysmal start to them. Now the rest of tactical intact will have to deal with quick reaction, because they just eliminated their mortal enemy. We'll see how this one pans out, as ITX already has 3 kills in the bag, but that also means that they are also partially crippled. Not much resources to work with.
Actually, not just that though, we have to remember Quick Reaction got the high tier loot zone. So they're going to be fully equipped compared to ITX, who just got standard loot.
It'd be a shame if ITX gets knocked out. That means it would be a minor win for AV Radicals. We'll see how ITX deals with this, because so far I think Quick Reaction, they do have control.
Ooh,
the high ground, Pablo with a white swing gets that first knockdown, and things are already getting good for ITX, because they found a second onto blank. And Hyper can't really do much. Shanks goes down. ITX absolutely on fire this time. Hyper was able to down at least 2 members of ITX. And Hyper win those 1 versus 1. It's going to start it off by bringing Shanks back up.
He gets it!
Fight for the team. A 1v4 for Hyper as he keeps his team in the game.
Oh my goodness, super lucky. But look at this though. RV's going to be coming into the fray to possibly clean up this incredibly wounded team because if I'm not mistaken, it's only 3 players here up against 4 and one of them is not fully healed. Blank is very injured. They're possibly going to be losing Shanks here for free. He gets a nice bounce there onto the grenade, going to be surviving, but we saw the drop. Hyper is down. I think it's just 2 versus 4 here. Husky, I think we're going to have to say goodbye to another team.
Well, thankfully they did have someone who slipped away. Quick reaction. Not out of this just yet. I mean, Hyper, he has done his heroics. He can go down in peace for a while before Blank resurrects him.
Good thing Blank left. He was actually the one that was injured. I think if he was tapped in any limb, he would have gone down. So
there's a revival point right in front of him. So this is very, very good news.
But you see, there's a revival point next to Tanamo, but he's scared to go on it because look where Farang are. I don't think he knows Farang is there. Maybe he's watching Access, but you can tell to sit next to the revival point, he's got to be scared.
And at the dam as well.
Yes.
One of those few areas where you just can't really get out of. If you get pincer, there is a buy point. He can't really put that to good use. There's not much agency for him, not much area for Tanama to work with. But you can see the Farang, they're actually slowly moving away into the circle. So maybe this is the window for Tanamo to get the rest of his team back.
I think he's actually waiting for the circle to come in because teams are less likely to use that revival point once the circle is either near it or passed on. So maybe he's just waiting to see that, okay, I'm going to make it so that it's unlikely someone will be here, but then I'll revive my team. Yeah. So it might not be so bad, but man, after such a good round for AB Radicals and then they had to sort of go down like that, it was very unfortunate.
Kind of back up the smack talk with a bit of action. Yeah, come at us is 3 points, but not harm us.
Oh, yeah.
It's one of those moments.
It's a radical team, you know, you either go up or down, there's no in between.
This is why we do Esports. Well,
yes.
that goes down next to a grenade by NC. And honestly, well, Revenge will be much spread out as Ryu will get a very easy kill that brings Revenge down to just 2 members. Error also got knocked. And Torm on the other end as well, trying to at least suppress the fire. But NC, they are just bolting towards the rest of Revenge. Torm does get a good nade onto Ryu, but he still has a lot of issues, and Aces is one of them. Because Ace will be the one that knocks him down. And Revenge down on the last lane. A bit of a moment as Ace stands on top of the near-dead body of the opponent and then gets a shot. Oh my god. Ipans gets a 1-for-1 trade, is down to the wire. Nafi's at least will be able to bring his teammates back out. Deco slipped away to the shadows.
Lucky Deco's got out of there, but I'm wondering if Deco stuck around. Maybe he actually could have gone for a punish there. It was a very interesting choice for them just to completely leave, but at least there's an opportunity for a revive here if Deco is able to get away. He would love any kind of vehicle himself right now to try and zoom off to potentially get that revive off, but it's going to be a lonely road here for Deco. He's all by himself, no team. But we are going to switch on over to NC and see if they could run into anybody. I don't see anyone on the map, but instead we're going to switch again, this time to Geek Fam and Bloodyhead. Although both these teams are not really on the same trajectory. They're sort of running in different directions.
Geek Fam is on the very edge of the cliff.
It's taking a nice little... not visual, what is it?
Tanamo hasn't moved yet.
He's moving up. That's right.
Oh yeah, he's probably going to go for the revive vision right now. At this point in time, most teams are basically heading into the circle, so Tanamo has a lot of room to work with to bring his team back. This is going to be a slow round, but as long as they don't get knocked out early on, I think AB Radicals will still be very much be in contention for the 2nd and 3rd spot.
I wonder if he's saving the revived because he wants the team to drop into a safe circle. Like, is he maybe waiting to find out where the circle's going to be? Maybe there's going to be a vantage point that they could drop into. Because if you jump early, right, you don't have that information. The later you wait, you get to see where the circle starts to spin off to, and then you have a better idea as to, okay, the circle could go here. Let's drop the team here on top of like a water tower or a compound. We've seen teams do this before and get those really good vantage points for little pickoffs, and at some point they drop down and they actually can punish.
Or you just go for those safe placement points, right?
Yeah.
It does help with survival.
But remember, the whole team's coming in naked, so you kind of can't just go anywhere.
I think it's a good time to drop to get the revival.
I would love to see if they have revived yet, because so far we've got no sign of this team reviving. No!
I was about to say that quick reaction and somehow decided to make a detour to that revival zone or be near that revival zone.
I wonder what happened.
Probably caught Talamo trying to.
But he just got eliminated by the blue zone, I think. It wasn't a player. Was it?
Yeah,
oh, okay. Well,
I guess it's one of those rounds for AV Radical. Sometimes you just have a good team.
I told you, okay? It's a team that goes up or down. There's no in between.
According to this pattern, at least they win 2 more good rounds, which will cement their.
Technically, next round is supposed to be the up. Okay, we've had the down, we had an up, now we're going back down again. We're going to go back up. But we'll talk about AV Radicals a little bit later on because we've got a lot of other teams to talk about here. We've got Geek Fam circling around the edge of this circle. Bloodyhead here sitting on top of the hill. I do like Bloodyhead's vantage point. They've got visuals on everybody coming in.
And all the other teams are just trying to fight for some space. It's going to rotate around the map. Axis, they did make contact with NC, who aren't really showing much resistance at this point of time. Not that they can show too much of themselves, so because Bloodyhead, like you said, have that high run control, and Fierce has already gotten opens up the entire area of NC. It's free fire for Mark as he has his kill stolen away by Flame. And now Axis will have to go uphill. Bloodyhead seems to kind of repositioning themselves by moving backwards, just retreating from the edge of the cliff.
Yeah, it's a very, very steep cliff. I love the fact that NC is just sticking around the corner, you know, not popping their heads out. They say there's no need, there's too many teams out here, it's too risky. Right, Nafius just sticking around in that corner. As long as Bloodyhead don't look that way, he is completely safe.
Actually somehow was able to make this even round to fight up against Bloodyhead. Morgana one back, grab on the top, but now Farah also decides to stick it in from long range. Morgana has a lot more than he can do with the range, and so far he's doing absolutely incredible, wiping out the entirety of Axis Esports at the cost of just one of his teammates.
I was a little bit scared there for the team, right? We saw Fiersu and Mark both getting down at the same time. I thought maybe that was an opening, but luckily for them, they take down Axis themselves. So that's going to be a couple of kills for them. Although, if you take a look at the map there, I see a team called Geek Fam snaking their way up that hill. And we know for a fact that Bloodyhead, they're injured. Geek Fam have all 4. This could just be 3 easy kills.
And Geek Fam has been the team that so far in this round has been eluding Bloodyhead. They've been kind of circling around the edge of the map. They're going in different directions, but
they're waiting for that drop of blood.
It has to converge as good shotgun knockdown at close range. Geek Fam trying to get that pincer maneuver going. Yasta will be the first one to dive straight into the ranks of Bloodyhead. Ends up getting 2 knockdowns, leaving Mark all alone, high and dry. Geek Fam getting that easy wipeout, just like you said.
Yeah, easy wipeout. They didn't lose anyone in the process. Nobody died, so they don't have to worry about the revival point. Great news for Geek Fam. Nice kills. It's also going to allow them to loot Bloodyhead's loot, right? Going into the late game, every team you kill, it just means some kind of improvement for your team. But here we see Expand. Very quiet game for Expand. I think this one's going to be the quietest we've seen today. We're so used to this team popping off, but very, very slow start.
And
I wonder why.
And they don't really have to. I guess they don't feel too pressured to make moves.
They don't have to, right? Yeah.
They can just chill in a compound and wait for the round to end.
So they could probably just drink tea somewhere and not really worry about their placement.
A picnic right out in the open. And this is the advantage of being so far up in the leaderboard. You generally don't feel the pressure to kind of get these crucial points. It's all about just maintaining your position. But there are almost 100 points of
revenge.
Making that first move onto Torm, swings the corner, easy kill. Axel does get his life taken away from him, but not before Cobra exerts justice on revenge. 5 kills for Expand thus far.
They didn't even stop. They literally just ran in, run and gun, easy picks.
It's crazy, right? You just run straight in and get kills.
Incredible team. But here we go. We've got a top-down view of all the teams currently remaining. Now, Farang, probably the most favorable position so far. They've got the very center of this latest circle. AKO going to be camping that northern section. It's going to be tough for Quick React to actually go in. Expand is going to be snaking around the eastern side, passing NC, but going to maybe collide into Geek Fam here. This could be a very big fight. Cobra, I think he's found Nafius here, and at the bottom we can see RV just sort of camping that southern section of the circle. But I think the biggest fight here, it's got to be that Geek Fam clash. I'm looking forward to it.
And Expand, they were just trying to spread apart their members to kind of gather more info, just like what Axel said in his interview just now. But they have less to work with. There's no revival points. They cannot bring Axel back into this. And somehow they all still made it to safety to give themselves some breathing room to work with. While Geek Fam, in the pursuit of Expand, push themselves out in the open and in the waiting arms of No Escape RV. And right now it's going to be two fights. A fight between these two teams that Expand is unintentionally created, and for good reasons as well.
Actually, I don't think it was Expand. I mean, RV were the ones to backstab into Geek Fam. I don't think Geek Fam caught wind of this team at all, so they did decide to engage into that fight. But is this going to pay off, right? Because especially in these final circles, if you're the one engaging these fights, you gotta make sure you get that first kill in, right? Because if you prolong the fight, you're giving the enemy an opening to reposition into more favorable spots, and your gank could turn into your team getting ganked.
Yeah, and that's kind of the biggest risk that you take. The longer
the fight happens,
the longer the fight gets dragged out, the higher the possibility of a third party coming in. And that's what happened. All too frequently against freefire.
Triple kill.
Just losing 200 HP, one shot. Oh, almost going down.
Oh, Sia, someone could just sneeze on him and he's gonna go down.
And just the barrage of grenades from long range by Farah is ruthless. They are getting pressured by Escape RV. Jeffel still gets the kill regardless. Escape RV, they could not save their buddy. Now with the pressure of the circle, the way of the circle behind them, they are forced to move into a compound. That's where Geek Fam resides, and No Escape RV now. But it's an inevitable fight, but what a charge buster shot.
Double kill.
That Jago peek by Phrase is so grim. Geek Fam did not see that coming. Had a disadvantage to work with these tight corners, that the blue wall is not really going to help Frey too much. Geek Fam having him down, but what can Frey do? Is there any more magic out of it in the hat? So far the answer is no for No Escape RV.
RV's got to do something now to Geek Fam, otherwise that circle is going to come in. They've got no health to tank the circle at all. They've got a very small window of opportunity and also a very small window to get punished. We'll see what happens here. RV is now on the move. Geek Fam is also going to be moving into the circle. But remember, Farang is in the center. They could potentially gatekeep all three teams.
RV, they could have a grenade launcher, but they couldn't use it in time. It's just like in college, Annalise. Farang just turns around and takes out multiple members of both RV and Geek Fam at the same time. As all these teams flood into a compound that they do not belong in. Expand also struggling to get some ground. Farang and Geek Fam losing members to the blue zone. This is an absolute catastrophe for all of these teams. Chaos in the making.
I think Hakimi's going to go down to the blue zone here. He just can't get his foot into this window. Geek Fam unfortunately going to end in 4th place in a second. No, he gets the revive! He revived!
He was on top of the buy zone, and Expand was the one that finishes in 4th place. What a clutch from Geek Fam. There is still some breathing room. These players are coming in naked, but if they can get to those blue boxes, they can get to those dead bodies on the members of Expand, they can get some equipment, they can get this weapon going, and probably win this round.
And no one's going to expect it. No one expects a revive here.
And they have dropped right on the roof. AKO, newbie, he sees all of that happening, but can they close it out? Far out, they're going in for the kill. They do not want to give Geek Fam any space to move, but AKO, they're here to spoil the party. They're buying a bit of time for Geek Fam unintentionally, and Geek Fam, can they make use of this room to get some magic done? Far out goes out. AKO gets Geek Fam, but it's not going to be enough. Not that it matters though, Geek Fam, not a great fight, but it's AKO that comes out on top.
What an amazing endgame. That was phenomenal. We had our 4 standout teams going into that fight, right? I think it was Expand was fighting AKO towards the northern section of the map, and then you had Geek Fam going up against Farang towards the southern section. Geek Fam coming in with the clutch save, the buy, revives the entire team. And those last minute buys surprise people because you don't expect to look up into the sky and expect flying bodies, okay? You're busy looking through windows, trying to find people that are peeking, trying to find every blade of grass that's moving. Oh, amazing. And AKO ruined Farang's chances of punishing Geek Fam because Farang knew but I don't think AKO knew at all.
Yeah, I mean, Geekfam got second place because of that, right? It could have
Exactly.
been so much more different.
Oh, amazing.
I don't expect them to win that round by getting second place because of that one move. I think it's good for their points as well. And actually, I think for AKO, one of the players was like, "Thank you, Papa Roy. Please treat me to McDonald's." Absolutely deserving of that meal.
My gosh.
So I'm gonna segue a bit. Interesting enough, because I made a trip to Singapore last week, and I found out that their large McDonald's drink is so
Medium?
much larger than our.
Oh.
Our large is their regular.
Ha.
Yes. Like
Really?
yes. Our large is the equivalent of regular in
Dang.
Singapore McDonald's. Yes. I have to put it out there. That's my biggest discovery. That is one of the best discovery I've made.
Look at this man talking about a soft drink. I mean, I'm still hyped over that final end game just now. My blood's still pumping. I cannot get out of my head the
This is
fact
the
that
first time I saw something like this. I see something like this in the final circle.
actually, okay, wait. Final circle, yes, but I think you and I have seen this happen before. I think it was you and AJ casting this. If you might remember, it was GeekFam again. I don't know why GeekFam is notorious for doing this, but GeekFam, they got the revive off, and I think the team, they... Oh gosh, what map
Was it the
was
game
it?
that they won?
I don't know
Well,
if they want. I don't know. We've seen this
yeah.
a couple times, but it is incredibly rare. But for some reason, it's always GeekFam that does.
There's one moment from GeekFam where it's game number 1. That was the very first time that the revival system was introduced into competitive. They lost 3 members. One guy slipped away, revived the entire team, and goes on to win the very first Beyond. That will forever be in my head. But it's not this GeekFam roster.
No.
That's the craziest part.
Yeah, it was.
That roster is now Sam9, who is not in this tournament.
That's why I'm surprised, because this is GeekFam, but not the GeekFam that originally did this.
Yeah, this is like partially the original GeekFam, right? There's a lot of history behind these players. All you have to know out there, if you are new to Free Fire, is that some of these GeekFam members have been in GeekFam, been out of GeekFam, and now they're back in GeekFam.
Clearly, this must be a GeekFam strat, right? Because we've seen multiple iterations of the team really utilizing the buybacks, the revive system. I don't think we've really seen any other team really do this. I think at most we're seeing teams drop their players on top of like the windmill or on top of like a very big tower. But GeekFam, with these clutch revives, I mean, boy, oh boy, do I love them. But let's just take a look at the round 3 standings here. We've got them on the screen. Auto knockout here, going to be getting the Booyah as well as 19 points to end that round. Expand in second place with 14 points, tied with GeekFam, who came second, but they managed to make the comeback happen.
And these are the teams that in round number 2 didn't really get much points, right? They got knocked out pretty early on and allowed AV Radicals to overtake them. But in round 3, well, they made it back, barring Access Esports, who had a pretty rough round alongside Tactical Intacts. But on the second page, on the second part of the leaderboard, it's fair to say that AV Radicals is having another one of those rounds.
We're at the bottom of the roller coaster. It's time to go up now.
It's hopefully... Again, it's a dice roll, right? You're taking these 50-50s. Well, you know, to give them a bit of that benefit of doubt, to justify something for them, at least they didn't purposely drop into that zone. I kind of felt like maybe it was just a coincidence between them and Tactical Intacts, because a high tier loot zone has always been between them and Quick Reaction. But I could be wrong about it. You know?
I personally think that they were trying to dodge Quick Reaction, because they stopped short of the blue zone.
Yeah.
So they probably thought that we're going to stop short, we're going to go in the other direction, but then they accidentally ran into Tactical Intacts, which is very unfortunate. Unless it was on purpose, but we really don't know what happens unless the teams purposefully tell us. But it was just very interesting to see the round. I'm glad we saw a change, right?
And I'm glad we saw AKO get the Booyah, right? They are the kind of the main characters of round number 3, even though GeekFam was the one that stole most of our attention away. But AKO, they are still in the running. And this is a team that, you know, across... this year has been a pretty up and down year for them, right? But before we go deep,
pulling off an AV Radical, I guess.
they were.
Yeah.
Before we go more into that, let's see what AKO themselves have to say. We're going to send it over to Ikuto and Nabi to get the interview going.
Kawasan bulatan tersebut dah berjaya untuk ratakan Farang.
Mungkin tadi sebab kita orang dapat circle last yang kat titik tu, lepas tu semua nak masuk, kita orang hanya defend je lah dari situ.
Okay. Jadi, game pertama AKO tidak berapa sangat. Game kedua, cantik. Game ketiga, lebih kemas. Adakah mungkin game keempat? Adakah mampu Purgatory untuk diambil Booyah? Maaf, Kalahari terlebih dahulu. Untuk diambil Booyah dekat situ untuk pasukan AKO.
Mungkin kita orang cuba yang terbaik lah untuk dapatkan Booyah sekali sebab nak capai top 3.
Baik, sebut tentang top 3. Buat masa sekarang, siapakah yang newbie rasakan akan mara ke top 3? Expand dah kita expand. Okay.
Expand, AKO, Geek.
Oh, Geek ya? Maksudnya Farah dengan Asis tak dapat lah.
Tak boleh pilih 5 orang, 5 tim. Ada 3 je.
Okay, jadi mungkin ada apa-apa kata-kata akhir untuk newbie kepada semua penyokong-penyokong pasukan Auto Knockout?
Thank you sebab support kita orang sampai hari ni. Walaupun kita orang tak berapa nak konsisten sangat. Thank you.
Alright. Okay, terima kasih newbie dan semoga berjaya untuk pertarungan yang seterusnya.
Okay, Assalamualaikum.
Salam warahmatullah.
Wow.
Alright.
We did resonate with some of the points I made before we head to the interview, which is the up and down year for AKO. But he's grateful that people are still supporting the team even though they are not really consistent. But the takeaway from that most interesting part to me is Ikuto asked, who are your top 3 teams that will go on to the challenge tours? Of course, Expand is the first one. Second one is the AKO because you have to support your own team.
Yeah.
The third one he says is Geek Fan.
Interesting.
So Farang and Axis are not in the equation because you can only pick 3 teams.
No AV Radicals?
No, not at all.
Wow, I'm really surprised he didn't even make a mention of the team.
Yeah, that is the craziest part. But we'll see if that's going to be the case. There's still 3 more rounds after this. We're going to go for a short break, but we will be back. More Free Fire action.
The Snapdragon Pro Series is brought to you by Snapdragon Elite Gaming, Monster Energy, and Kachi Shop.
Welcome to the place where dreams come true, where everything you want can be yours, if and only if you're willing to work for them, you're willing to hurt for them, but most of all, you're willing to be first for them. Ha! Look, I'm going straight to the top. I don't know how I would stop, like it or not. I got some goals that I'm hitting. You hear what I'm spitting? It's hot. Look what I got. Whole lot of passion and pain. The road to success is insane. Stay out my lane, cause I'm on a mission. I'm getting what stands in my way. Yeah, I'm a beast. I wouldn't play with me, baby. The way that I'm training is crazy and I do it daily. You wanna talk about drive? I got more drive than Mercedes. I never been lazy. I'm in the room, it's a red alert. You wanna compete? Well, get better first. I got 10 toes in the dirt. Push through the hurt just to show them my worth. I'm the best. Yeah, I'm the best. I never stress. I know what's next. I'm who they test. Like we playing chess.
We've just reached the halfway point of the Snapdragon Pro Series Free Fire Season 2 Open Finals. This is the final day and we have 3 more rounds to find out who our top 3 teams will be moving into the challenge groups. I'm Pasatsuki, and alongside me is expert scuba diving,
mountain climbing.
Yeah, Danley.
I love you, just like forgot my name halfway through. Amazing. But we have been climbing a lot of mountains today. We've been diving into the Marina Trench. We've seen a lot happen so far, right? We started with Expand going in for that absolutely dominating, crushing play. Then we had AV Radicals come out of the woodworks, push themselves into second place. And then now we're starting to see a bit of a swapperoo because AV, they went back down into that ditch. They were just like, oh, it's too bright up here. We gotta go down. We gotta recover.
It's a seasonal thing.
It's a seasonal thing. But the team is not out yet, right? We've got the overall standings. Expand, of course, I think at this point, just got to stop mentioning this. Sitting in first place. Auto knockout after their booyah from that last round has rocketed them to second place alongside GeekFam because both of these teams have 99 points apiece. But they're not in the clear yet, right? Because they're still being chased by Farang, AV Radicals, and Axis Esports. These teams not even 10 points away.
And I think we can also add quick reaction into the mix because they are only 1 point behind Axis Esports, so it is not impossible for them to break into second or third. But what Newbie has predicted so far, it still stands true at this point of time, right? Currently, GeekFam and AKO being able to qualify for challenge groups, but they need to maintain this for 3 more rounds. And if the pattern, if how the wind blows is correct, I don't know what I'm saying, but point is, if what we've seen so far is a pattern, AV Radicals will have a good round 4.
Assuming they follow that pattern, right? Because we don't know what the AV Radicals roller coaster likes to be. We assume it's up, down, up, down. For all we know, it could be up, down, up, or it could just be down, down, down,
it's
down,
like
down.
It's like your stocks, right? It's the economics.
Yeah, it depends on the guy that's pressing the button, right? It's like, when does he decide to press the stop button? Or maybe even the reverse button. You really don't know. But we are halfway through. We are going into Kalahari. And we know Kalahari is a very particular map. Some teams do not do well on Kalahari, and this is going to be the only time we get Kalahari. And this could be pretty influential for some of the teams as well, right? Because map preference does play a very big role for some of our teams that are competing. And I'm wondering if this is actually going to cause some issues. Now, some teams that we do know that do well, we know, of course, Farang generally does well. I'm just going to throw Expand in there because this team is just good in every map. I think at this point, you can say Expanders expanded their map pool.
Axis also does pretty well on this map. In fact, they were the first team that challenged Farang.
It's a miracle! Who is not at the high tier loot zone?
And it's not a big surprise that Bloody Head are engaged in early combat on Kalahari. Well, interestingly enough, they have decided to drop at Mammoth instead of their usual spot, which I believe is was Ruins. But Farang, same old spot, Refinery. That's where they like to be, and that's where they always manage to assume most of the control on this map.
Man, I just love the fact that I think this is the first time in a very long time, or if ever, that we have not seen a high tier loot zone occupied by AV Radicals because they have been successfully pushed out by quick reaction.
At some point, you just have to pull a stop on it, right? Just take a step back and kind of reevaluate your drop zones and how you want to move around the map. I would say Kalahari is honestly one of the most successful and most unique maps in Free Fire just because of not only the design, the dynamics, but how it's influenced some of the team so much that they just can't perform as well. And it's not because of a skill problem, it's just the map itself.
Very, very different to the rest of the maps in the other map pool, right?
Bloody Head not dropping a command post is a big... I'm still surprised. Maybe this new iteration of Bloody Head just decides to not do command post at all.
But it might be a good thing though, right? I think at some point your team has to adapt, they have to change, they need to do something different if they want to make success happen. And sometimes it means you got to let go of old habits, even if it might be a good habit. Because maybe they've clung to the fact that they've always dropped at one particular spot. They realize we've got to expand our horizons, let's try different things. Let's not get sniped.
Let's not get sniped. It's it's the area where they had the highest success rate as well. So now we have to kind of open a new chapter for more statistics down the road. AV Radicals, on the other hand, they get a quick first blood. Off to a really good start, completely uncontested, pretty near console. Axis Esports is nearby. With how things are right now, I mean, AV Radicals just look so much more clean. You can see on your right side, AV Radicals 36 total points so far across 4 rounds. This one is still ongoing. Axis Esports actually decides to challenge this, but the tornado that retweet is nearby. This could be an easy pick-off. Something, it has to be an exchange. Not after Tanamo goes down. You gotta at least get a kill, but Ref slips away. Daylight murder from the side of Axis, and they're getting more than just one. One goes down, Tanamo is out. Disaster for AV Radicals.
Oh god, this roller coaster's not going up, Husky, it's going down. Oh, stop the roller coaster, press the stop button. This is not what you want if you're AV Radicals. So even if this team has decided to go for the change, they run into Axis, this team punish AV Radicals, and again, this team ends in last place, 12th spot. I think it was 1 kill.
They got 1 kill.
They got 1 kill. Oh my goodness.
There's 2 more
the
rounds.
pain. The pain.
I'm optimistic.
I need Panadol, please.
I've witnessed heartbreak today from different game titles. I do not want to go through that heartbreak again. But it is not looking good. Well, it is not looking good. It's an understatement. It is looking absolutely terrible. And now we can put them aside for the rest of the round because there's just nothing much that can be said for AV Radicals at this point in time. And see, kind of pressured by Axis after a triumphant victory on that high ground. And Axis continuing to put on pressure on any free targets that they can find.
Axis have probably effectively shut out AV Radicals from a potential top 3 unless a unicorn round pops up again for that squad.
They need 2 of them right now. 1 isn't enough, they need 2.
Oh my goodness.
Because Axis is also one of the teams that is contending for 2nd and 3rd and not far behind.
Jeez, I actually cannot believe that. And this is also after the change. We'll talk about this a little bit later on post-game because I think we do have a lot of thoughts as to what happened in that round. But NC is actually coming in and punishing Axis. Nifty little kill there for Nafis, so he's going to help out the team. They've got 4 kills to their name, but he might be punished here. There's 3 angry teammates looking to find out who was the murderer that killed their teammate. Where is he? Where is this little pesky Nafis?
I wonder if they saw him though, because there's backup from Asta from long range, completely capitalizing on Axis' movements.
Oh!
There's a bit of an over-aggression from Nafis. He's going to give his life up for this, but damage has been done by Asta right across the ridge. That long-range snipe, not easy to do, but Asta will also have to retreat because they have lost a couple of members. But on the other end, you have Revenge taking on Tactical Intacts, and so far it is looking like an even Stevens fight. iPans on the ground, and Revenge trying to get more from this. Nile will be the one that kind of gets traded back. Stekos has already evacuated the area, but Revenge at least know that they got a couple of kills.
Yeah, they really needed to get rid of Era there if he was going to win that fight. So, unfortunate, going to be eliminated there.
I just realized we have 26 players left.
That is very fast.
We have 6 minutes in. What happened?
Where is everybody? Hang on. Hang on, did we really have that many people die in such a short span of time? The game has just started. It's only 6 minutes, Husky. Where is everybody? Good question.
I have no idea. I'm surprised myself.
So, it's not Halloween. There's no ghost party here, okay?
Well, some of them got revived. But still, like, with such a low player count in the lobby.
It's so strange. It's on Kalahari as well.
It's a map that you generally don't expect for there to be much depth early on. I wonder what's happening with Farang right now. They're probably still at Refinery. Yep, sure they are.
Look at all these people just spread out trying to survive. You got Xian. Okay, we've got a revival here, so
they're all coming back.
Yeah, everyone's coming back slowly, coming back. Although
repopulating the map.
Repopulating. The flood has happened. Noah's opened the ark. Repopulate, he says. Oh goodness. I'm really curious. Okay, we're up to 31 players, so it's not too bad. But we're not fully back into all these rosters. But Expand, I think this one was a bit of a shocker. I didn't expect the entire team to almost get eliminated, but thankfully Cobra doing his duty.
Yeah, bringing everyone back, and quick reactions. So far is a pretty quiet round for them. They did have that one initial kill, and they are very near territory of where Farah is.
So they had like no one to kill anyway.
That is correct. With all these devs, you would think that they have more than one kill.
Exactly.
But apparently not. I mean, Bloodyhead has 6.
That's the last team you would expect to get kills now. Normally, Bloodyhead is going into the final circle, or at least like the final 3 circles with 2 kills to their name by now.
They're like a hornet, right? They're like a nest of hornet. Like you have to stir them for them to retaliate. In this case, I think Bloodyhead has done a great job.
Who was that?
Keeping themselves controlled.
Oh, I think that's Expand.
Uh-oh.
Is that? Oh, goodness.
They were splitting up to try to get some weapons.
I know Axel split up, so yeah, he is all alone if he gets sniped here.
Thankfully, he has the grapple gun, so it's I was able to get away.
He's also lucky that no one was in his path. He could have just run into somebody and just went down. Super lucky. I mean, sometimes you got to make those risky plays happen. So props to him for having the courage to nominate and say, hey, I will go as tribute.
You just have to pray that your enemies don't land their shots. You know? Sometimes it's you take advantage of human error.
Yeah. Oh, goodness. All right, I'm going to stick with Bloodyhead here as this team continues with their losing game. Going to try and propel themselves somewhere else. Too Fast is all alone. Ah, man. Such a risky play, but I love the fact that Expand are just not getting punished for this.
This is kind of what I think GeekFam, the last iteration of GeekFam used to do.
Yes, they did.
Always splitting up and getting these, weaponry when they revive. And it's actually not a bad plan, right? If you know what you're doing, and sometimes you have to just be willing to give your life away if you run into an enemy. It's all about the info gathering. That's something that Expand pays a lot of attention to. Expando is.
I want to know who shot them. They're getting shot at, but by who?
Is that a reaction? I did see a separate team.
I saw a couple team names, but I'm not sure.
Well, we know that someone might be behind it. Well, actually, there's no one behind it wall.
We'll find out in just a second who this could possibly be. Well, we got Firing in their classic spot, you know, just taking up refinery, living there, decorating. Maybe you have to call IKEA for some extra furniture. Sunny, what would you like to do at the kitchen?
I wonder if there is a kitchen in the nuclear. Is this even oh, it's not even a nuclear plant, it's a refinery. Wow!
There's no kitchen, what are you talking?
Shoot some bursts out of the air.
Oh my god.
As AKO decides to revive and drop GeekFam
no.
as well. Haziq get picked off. Farah getting
Hakimi.
2 free knocks, but they haven't secured the kill just yet. Haziq's probably gonna bleed out, but to the AKO member, I think
Double kill.
also be fall prey to Farah. Nothing much that they can do about this one.
I don't know, maybe he's actually sitting on top of one of these compounds. We actually don't know. I don't think he's dropped. Fies. Oh no, he is. He's down. Yeah, he's knocked down. I mean, it gives them info though. They know for a fact that someone's currently occupying refinery. So if I were them, you know, avoid refinery like the plague. Go anywhere else but refinery. But if he runs into quick reaction, he's dead.
With how the circle is right now, Farah is incredibly happy.
Yes,
they can
very.
choose to not move at all, and that is kind of the best case scenario for the team.
Oh, they didn't see it.
Do not breathe.
So big! Oh, he breathed.
It's on the end of his leg. It's extended out as he was prone.
Oh no, he needed to go sideways.
Vision is a strange thing in this game. For good reason. It's how you get these kills.
Why does this box have feet?
Honestly, freefire has one of the strongest couches I've ever seen.
The indestructible couch.
Indestructible furniture.
Yes, I agree. Even the crates are indestructible. Wonderful.
It's such a cheese strat because you can just tuck yourself behind the couch. The only way to kill you is to use explosives.
Also the blue zone.
And the blue zone.
Yeah. That's also another way to counter the couch strat. Crazy stuff. I love Free Fire. Everyone takes Battle Royale so seriously, but it's like, sometimes I just want some funny deaths, you know? I just want to die to some silly stuff.
A lot of funny moments.
Yeah. Got plenty
At one
of
point we were calculating road kills.
We don't actually get many of those in Southeast Asia, which I'm a little devastated about. I'd love to see more. I want to see some more. I want to see some more flat people.
We're actually getting gunned down by members of Farah. Already lost Shanks, like, in dire need of some help. Farah actually, they are not responsible on too much. They're taking it slow, they have high ground control. Spade is playing from long range. Actually taking care of members from Revenge as well. There are multiple fights happening across the map, but Farang is going to come right in with that slam dunk. Just doing God's work for the team. 10 kills so far in quick reaction. Force prey. Jembao does get taken out by Torm, but Spade instantly returns the favor by taking on Deckles.
Yeah, quick reaction, not quick enough apparently, as Farang going to reclaim their territory. We know for a fact that Refinery is theirs, and I love the fact that they're still camping here, but can they defend their territory from these other teams? They've got Axis that they've got to deal with. Geekfam eliminated and removed from the picture. That's going to be one less team to worry about, but I think if anything, so far the big teams going into this final zone here, it's going to be Farang, it's going to be Axis. I think Expand is still in the picture. We're not seeing him here, but these are some of the big teams. We've got Revenge on the western side of the circle. And who's got the circle here? Because I see Bloody Head inside the next circle, poised and ready to go. Look at Newbie here. It's just... Hide me, please. Very Nook. Oh, no! It's his rock climbing skills that he's just...
You can climb on that rock?
He's just in that circle. Just...
Find that
Come
pixel.
On.
Find that pixel.
Go.
Oh.
No!
Uh-oh.
Okay, as long as he doesn't...
You know it's like that one game, getting over it.
He's trying to go around.
Yeah.
If you can't go over it, go around
It's
it.
probably the smarter way. Good job.
Look,
figure it out.
He's not dead. That's the most important thing, right? He's not dead. Maybe he gets picked off now, but as long as he survives, it's all good.
We've seen miracles. This was the team that won the last round as well.
Yes.
Can they pull off that exact same clutch? We have to find a buy point first. I don't think, well, there is one, but he won't have health to tank it.
Okay, let's see who's here. There's Expand, and oh, they found RV.
Revenge was able to bring back the rest of the team, but where do you parachute towards? I mean, you look at that one member of Revenge, it's just like, nope, not here. I see multiple people not here as well. Well, auto knockout is gone dead thanks to a pistol from Flame.
I think when you're going in for that kind of revive, he's probably going in there not expecting to live, but he's going to be playing for vision. He's trying to spot out where the team is so he can relay information to the rest of his squad. But it looks like we're going to start seeing some blood drop here as these teams, they're trying to solidify their position in this circle. Got another player flying in here from Revenge, but very awkward circle because you've got a lot of teams on top of the Refinery. They got to come down. You can't stay up forever.
If I'm that, keeping two players on top of Refinery for as long as possible.
I love Too Bad here. Like, Too Bad's not on the Refinery, he's on the cliff, and he's going to punish people dropping down.
I think the only one up top is Aaron.
Yes.
But he's on the Flame as well. Already they're trapped between a couple of containers in a very, very hard place. But they're still getting these kills. Who knows? Expand couldn't really get the punish in. They've already lost too fast. Expand, they need to make a move right now. Circle is closing in. Farang is still holding a very advantageous position. What can Expand do in this situation? They have a couple of moves to work with, but they're getting completely spammed down by the members from RB. X-Roy goes down, but Cobra, he doesn't have much health nor time to help his teammate. He's throwing out the grenades, but the side step from RB, reading that telegram move so well. And Cobra and Axel able to make it into a safe place, but they gotta hold hands right now. Initial push from RB. Is this the right decision? There's a glue up between these members. Jimquai turns around, doesn't win the initial fight. It's against Cobra.
He got it!
Takes down Cobra. Only Axel left, and in close range, it is a no-go. Expand falls to RB.
Oh man, Expand were in such an interesting predicament because they had no cover. They could, it's either you hide behind the cactus or your glue walls. You've got nothing else to play with. So Expand eliminated from the competition. Farang now have their feet on the ground, comfortable and ready to take on some of these teams. RV still hiding behind the crate here. Spade on top of the crate as well, positioning. He's going to go top down. Neptune though on the side, trying to cut these players off, but it's only one person on top of this crate.
They've already lost Jembao, so Farang's number are slowly getting pinned out. Revenge still has one own member hiding from God knows where, but he is doing a really good job of staying hidden. Farang do not feed into the machine, but it seems like the machine is going towards them as RB gets another elimination and finds the last member of Revenge. It's Axis against RB, the unlikely opponents, but can they do it? Xian's in 1 versus 1. Seems like there is an opportunity, but there is no help for him to stay alive. Axis with a 3-up.
getting that final necessary hit. Going to be removing sound from the competition. Locks in the booyah from the team. Axis grabbing some much needed points to push them further up that leaderboard. They were so close to possibly taking that top 3 spot. I think it would have been enough to crack it through. But then again, we had a lot of teams that are pretty high up on that leaderboard, also making it really deep into this competition.
And I mean, size of relief for Axis, right? Newbie, you gotta kind of revisit that prediction. Is Axis still not in the list? Maybe you have a change
They were
of thoughts.
always in the list, come on.
Oh, he said, yeah, if we have 5 teams and Axis in the list, we have to pick top 3. Now, is Axis not in top 3 yet? I think they are pretty close to making.
I'd say 4th, I think.
Probably, right? Because AKO didn't really have a good round, so there's a kind of a window for Axis to close that gap and even make it into top 3.
And yeah, and you also have to remember the point offsets as well. I think there was probably like 7 to 8 point difference between these teams before the round. So you also have to consider that. So even though maybe a team might have not had the best round, maybe they just got enough to make it through. You know, you got to scrape by on that single point. Every point counts.
Every point, it does count. I mean, this one is a series of tragedy.
Yeah, the tragedy for AV Radicals. I mean, I think AV were just caught in a really bad spot as well. They got a standard drop zone, which is fine, that's not a big deal, but the big deal was that they had nothing to work with. They had no compound, they were out in the open. They thought, okay, we're going to try and take this compound from, I think it was Axis, right? And then Axis just eliminated them.
And this is, so we played 4 rounds, and 3 out of the 4 rounds, AV Radicals finished 12th place.
Yep, 2 of them with 0 points. This round with 1 point.
1 0 points. I think the first round they got 3 points or something.
Did they get points? I thought they got nothing. I remember at least one.
They did.
At least I know 1 round they definitely got nothing. I swear they got 2 rounds of nothing, and then I could be wrong.
Well,
doesn't matter. I want to be wrong.
The main point is they got 3 rounds of
12 points. Yeah, 12. That makes sense. Pretty devastating. And they've only got 2 more games after this, right? It's Purgatory, it's Alpine. We expect Alpine to be a match where they actually get points, but this is probably it for AV Radicals. You got to pick up points on Purgatory. You cannot rely on a unicorn round anymore. You really need to get 2 rounds of points. I think even if it's just a middle finish, you got to keep up.
Considering the circumstances for this team coming into this finals, just kind of having a bit of a unfortunate handicap on day 1. You know, it's not kind of the get out Joe safe card excuse or reasoning, but I think AV Radicals certainly on a day where they feel like they are in a better shape. This is not a performance that they would want for themselves. Not any fans would want.
Especially on a final day.
This is the regional finals.
Literal final day. There's no more play days after this. So if they don't make top 3, I think that's basically it. We're not going to be seeing AV Radicals until Worlds.
Part, right? Because normally it would be just first place or second place in our regular Garena tournament, but this one you have 3 spots. So that kind of makes the heartbreak hurt even more if you don't make it top 3.
Actually, top 6 if we go for the regular season, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so top 6 you get something, but in the case of this tournament, only top 3. I mean, the competition's steep.
It's very steep, and we're competing with other regions, right? This is kind of like the mini World Series if you make it to challenge groups. Of course,
regional series.
The regional series.
There we go.
But right now, Axis Esports getting their booyah in round number 4. Very standard round, 17-minute survival time, but Axis Esports kind of showed us again that Kalahari isn't just a Farang map, because Axis Esports have proven over time that this is a map that they are well versed in.
I do agree. I think we've actually seen Axis play a lot of really good Kalahari rounds. Yes. So the fact that this team is also able to pull out the card and say like, hey, Kalahari is our map as well, this is great news for the team. But, I say but, I hate saying but because it always means bad news is coming.
However,
I mean it's just as bad. It's exactly the same as but we've got 2 more maps to go and it's not Kalahari. It's Purgatory and Alpine. And if I'm not mistaken, the stats for Axis are very bad for these last 2 maps. If I'm not mistaken, they normally do Bermuda and Kalahari reasonably well, but then they fall for these final 2 maps. We'll talk about this a little bit later on because I do believe we have an interview lined up and it's going to be with Axis. So let's see what they have to say.
Adakah lebih banyak praktis dilakukan ataupun ada perubahan yang dilakukan?
Sudah.
Bagaimana training rutin harian?
Waktu awal masuk problem, tapi lama-kelamaan adaptasi, mulai mengerti sedikit bahasa mereka.
Problem seperti mana tuh?
Seperti nama-nama rumah,
jadi
nama-nama bangunan.
Jadi ternyata kalau di Indonesia sebutannya lain, di Malaysia sebutannya lain.
Iya, lain, beda.
Ternyata berbeda di situ ya.
Ya, beda-beda.
Jadi sebelum itulah,
Beda.
Ralph sudah berapa lama berada di Malaysia?
2 bulan.
2 bulan.
2 bulan dah
Makanannya gimana?
Sedap.
Baik, itu yang paling penting. Jadi Ralph, mungkin ada sedikit apa yang ingin Ralph sampaikan kepada mungkin semua orang yang sedang menonton, peminat-peminat Ralph, fans-fans yang ada, mungkin bukan saja di Malaysia tapi di Indonesia sekali.
Betul.
Ya, pokoknya buat fans Esports tetap dukung kami dan doakan yang terbaik, dan insya Allah kita gak bakal kecewain kalian.
Top 3 ya, top 3.
Top 3 ya.
Top 3. Bukan expand nggak bisa, expand udah terlampau tinggi tuh.
Iya.
Jadi mungkin top 3. Jadi baik, terima kasih Ralph dan semoga berjaya
Ya,
pertarungan seterusnya.
Bang.
Ya, sama. Yang penting
He said it. He said that our food is good. Malaysian
Okay.
food is awesome.
Wait, we're going to start from the beginning because there's some people out there that's like, wait a minute, what does this dude say? I kind of feel like I know what it is, but let's go with the translations.
So he basically said that some of the call-outs, because Ralph, for those who don't know, he's actually an import from Indonesia, from freefire Indonesia, right? So I think he's one of the first imports for our local scene, and Axis was the one that got in. They are different call-outs. Like, call-outs are different compared to Indonesia for certain buildings, certain regions. So they had to get some extra practice and just to get it straight. Sometimes there might be some confusion in the team. Rest of the interview was just him saying that food is good. That's all I want to know. If our food is good, that's all that matters. And of course, he is confident that they will make top 3, even though he almost slipped and not say that they will make top 3.
Well, it sounds like the guy is open-minded because he knows the competition is stiff. So I'm not going to blame him.
He knows that our food is good. That's
well, to be fair, I mean, the food here is pretty similar. But, you know, that aside, you know, speaking of delicious food, we have delicious sponsors.
Yeah. I don't know if we can eat our sponsors, but we can definitely thank them for being a part of this. Snapdragon Elite Gaming when winning matters. And you know, we've been on this journey with them for so long, and they've shown us so many great moments, right? They give this player a platform to perform on, and for us to witness these great games, it's just awesome to work with them. And also we have Monster Energy for allowing everyone to unleash the beast within them, so do remember to check them out at www.monsterenergy.com/gaming to get your daily fix. And if you guys are a fan of getting good deals and great top-ups and you don't know where to go for them, do remember that this is your only pit stop. Is www.kachishop.com for all your gaming top-up needs.
So we did have one delicious sponsor, but speaking of delicious, if you want to grab your snacks, the best time to do it is right now, because we are going to go for a quick break before we jump into our next match. So don't go anywhere if you're not ready to leave, because we've got some more Free Fire. But until then, we'll see you after this break.
The Snapdragon Pro Series is brought to you by Snapdragon Elite Gaming, Monster Energy, and Kachi Shop.
Welcome back to the Snapdragon Pro Series Free Fire Season 2 Regional Finals. For the Open Finals, we have 2 more rounds to go, and then we'll find out who the top 3 teams are moving into Challenge Group Stage. Just kind of a warning for you guys, we will not show any overall standings until the very end. So if you think the suspense is killing you, don't worry, it's killing us as well. My name is Sasuke, and alongside me is Daniel, who will share this anxiety burden with me.
Look, I don't think we should be hiding the numbers here because it is so dang close, but who cares? You know, these guys...
That's the whole point, you hide it because it's close.
The production's just trying to ruin my feelings, okay? They're trying to rob me of my happiness.
Don't worry, we've been through this multiple times in multiple events where I remember for the major, they start from the very bottom up to the top, and then they just covered everything.
Oh no!
Yeah. So that was an experience as well.
It's terrible.
It's terrible. I'd rather not see it until the end. You know, just don't tug on my heartstrings too much.
Well, at least we know one thing for sure, right? And it's the fact that Expand is not going to move a muscle, which means that we are basically left in the dark for the remaining 2 teams that end up being the top 3 teams. And I think we kind of have an idea as to who's currently sitting there and who's out of reach. And I'm only talking about one team that's out of reach, that's maybe in reach. They're called AV Radicals, and it's a team that's supposed to go up, down, up, down. They decided to go down, up, down, down. And if they go down again, I basically think that's going to be it for this team. We're not going to be seeing them for the next stage of this competition, but we will see them at Worlds. But after that, nada.
But for those of you guys who are wondering what comes after this regional finals, well, guess what? It's the challenge group. But the ultimate stage of challenge group is the challenge finals for Snapdragon Pro Series.
On the screen.
Which will be happening in Jakarta on 4th and 5th February 2023. So mark it down in the calendars, cancel your plans with families, cancel your plans with your girlfriend or your wife, whatever. This one matters the most.
Yes, exactly. So you don't have an excuse to say that you're not free, because you will be free right now. Who plans that far ahead? Not me. All right, speaking of plans, we are planning to start our next game right now, so let's jump into it. We're going to be going into Purgatory, second last map of the day, Husky. I'm really excited. Are we going to be seeing the same old shenanigans? AV Radicals! Oh my gosh, I think they just realized, guys, we just got to do it, you know? We
just gotta roll the dice. If we get a good round, we get a good round. If we don't get a good round, we have World Series to look
And
forward
another
to.
thing as well, revenge could be helping some of these other teams, because if you eliminate someone like Axis, we know this is a top contending team that is possibly sitting in top 3 right now. You remove them from the picture, that leaves top 3 wide open for another team.
And they're doing a decent job at it. Eliminated 2 members of Axis, but unfortunately, I don't think they will get the remaining.
I know, they'll get Neptune.
They'll get Neptune at least.
Yeah, they'll get Neptune. There's a revival point there. I'm wondering if Revenge maybe try and go for the revival point here, but it's a little bit risky.
I think Revenge would go for it because Raph decides to skip it entirely, knowing that there are 2 Revenge members on his back. So he's going to take a longer route to get to the next revival point on the on the eastern side of campsite. Surprisingly, we didn't see anything on the kill feed regarding AV Radicals and quick reactions.
I wonder if they dodged. They dodged each other. But I don't think that could happen, because we know quick...
on top. They were on... Oh, there we go. There we go. We get some actions in. So it's a 1-for-1 trade thus far.
Oh no. Can we play the sound effect? Oh no. Oh no.
Triple
Oh no.
It's a bit too graphic to show on screen, so we will look at GeekFab for now.
Yeah, production doesn't want to ravage my feelings. Oh, I think it really feels like they dodged, but I'm wondering if it's because AKO is here as well.
It could be. How much did AV Radicals get out of this? I think that is a very important question. Did they get to loot enough before abandoning this area?
Ah, there's a revive.
Oh, there we go. Because AKO seems like the team that has gotten more control, and Mike is...
Is that it actually? Is that...
Oh, it
wow,
is.
quick reactions are completely gone down.
Say your prayers, AV Radical, and you live to fight another day.
This roller coaster's going up. Is it making a U-turn? It's going from the depths of hell all the way to heaven again? I hope so. I mean, I said it before, they've got to have 2 great rounds. I'm not expecting for them to pull out 2 amazing rounds, but at least 2 consistent rounds to get their points on that leaderboard. They are absolutely capable of racking those big rounds, especially when they get those kills. But I'd love to know if they got the inventories that they wanted as well, because they didn't get free reign of the loot.
I'm just just gonna rummage through
your notes.
Numbers. So because AV Radicals didn't get any points in the previous round, they currently sit, I think, at 88 points. 88 or 89 points. So it is not too far away from second and third place. If they can get 2 good rounds, this and the next, I think it is still within reach. So all hope is not lost just yet. There are 2 different fights happening across the map. ITX losing 2 members to Geek Fam and making 3. There's only Shook left to kind of keep the dream alive while Tactical intact. Geek Fam continuing to kind of put on the pressure, but they did give ITX a bit of breathing room to get that revival, to get that resuscitation. Yasta and Haki, they brought back up. Apis though will be buried alive. At the end of the day, it's going to be Geek Fam still kind of in the crosshairs of ITX. Still on top of the roof. Can he get anything done? Takes out Haki.
He revealed his position.
Geek Fam still has 2. They have multiple members, but they're all very low. They can all go down.
Nah,
Yasta has healed up.
They're all down. I mean, Zipnu's the only one left, and he also revealed his position. Like, you can see Geek Fam, they know he's there.
Arabia actually stole that kill away. That's good to know.
Oh goodness. Looks like we've got Revenge and Axis going in for a bit of a firefight on the other side of the map. We're not gonna take a look. Zipnu jump down.
What?
He actually got he got Hazi. He's got Yasta! Sir, please no, you're not getting over the murder.
This guy just moonwalked with UMP and got 2 kills.
Hakimi, you have 1 job. Hakimi!
Double kill.
Oh my god.
This is doable. This is very doable.
Zipnu salvaged the round. Oh my gosh, I'm speechless. Sir!
So there's a revival point as central. And I think Geek Fam is so much closer to that spot. I think Zipnu's not going to contest it, at least not for now. Oh boy, you hear the footsteps. Hakimi is just right opposite this compound.
Dude is just having a shrooms. He's like, oh yeah, boy. My gosh,
He's gunning for the point.
Look, I swear if...
Does Zipnu know this? Does he see this?
I was going to say, if he knows, this would be amazing. But here we go. We're going to switch on over to the other side. We did have a bit of a tense fight there, but we've got Revenge able to pick up their team. And it looks like they did serious damage. Is that to Axis?
To Axis, yeah. And they just revived as well. This was a team that revived 3 members and they lost 1.
What is this?
Revenge.
A grudge fight between these 2 teams, like non-stop, going after one another. Although I think it's Revenge that's chasing, so Revenge having their revenge.
If you look at the regular league, when Revenge was still Orange Esports, they were bullied by Axis pretty badly. It all comes full circle.
It explains the grudge, the full circle of life, as they say.
It does.
Although we're looking at 2 Predators, no one's really prayed yet. But interesting choice though, Deco is actually going to take his vehicle and move away. What's he trying to do though? Is he going to try and loot up somewhere? Maybe he's going to try and pick up some health packs because he was pretty injured when he got into the vehicle. And technical intakes, there we go. Hakimi gets his revenge.
Finally, that was so much more costly than Geek Fam would have wanted.
Yeah, it was very expensive, and they kind of just went into it 1 by 1, which I think in this case maybe they were just too overconfident going into Zipnu. It's just one
Zipnu
dude.
has like less than 40 HP, and he wiped out 2 members of Geek Fam.
That's why I think they were just too overconfident. Like Geek Fam were just saying like, oh yeah, can someone finish him off? And they just go 1 by 1. It's like whoops. Now they're going to try and find a revival point, which, looking at their pathing right now, I mean, they got the revival, so it's not terrible.
They have time. They have time before.
But who's on the
AV
left
Radical
side?
arrive? This is an important team to wipe out if you're AV Radicals. You want to wipe out all the teams in front of you.
Look, if he gets rid of Hakimi is the most geared up person on the team.
Yes.
Everyone else is naked. So get rid of Hakimi, I think you're going to be good. We'll see later though. Buddy has here instead. Going to be trying to shoot into Axis, I believe. And yes, it is Axis. But no clear shot for either team.
There's 1 member from Bloody Hit who is very far away.
Oh,
as AV Radicals have already gotten the pick off,
down.
and it's Kha'Zix. That's the guy that was revived. Nothing much on his body.
They need Hakimi.
He's on the run. They
need
trying to
Hakimi.
chase. They have him pincered. Apis and Yasta, they're trying to protect him, but Hakimi is down. AV Radicals again.
Yasta, Apis, run!
They're doing so much. But when it mattered the most, they are delivering. And Yasta out in the open. You're not running away. Not like that. 3 dead on the side of Geek Fam.
They've
He's
done
gonna
it.
be Tanamu knocked down. Can Apis at least grab what he runs out of bullets? Able to switch into a gun. But afterwards, he gets taken out. It was an expensive one. Well, not an expensive one, but Tanamu instantly gets brought back. 8 kills for AV Radicals. There's There's still a chance.
This roller coaster is gaining speed, going up this roller coaster. It's getting faster, Husky. It could get faster than this, but we'll have to see. But this is great news for AB Radical fans. This team is gaining traction.
I mean, the only round that they performed on, they got 35 points. Who's to say that they won't get another 35 points?
That's an average day for a normal AB Radicals team, okay?
For normal AB Radicals.
Normal AB Radicals team.
It's definitely not a day for normal access because they just lose
No.
2 guys. There's a grenade launcher, I believe, in the hand of Morgana. But Bloody Hit, they're not fully committing to this, at least not with that last member of theirs. Jost has to abandon ship.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way they get the pickups there, so maybe try and go for
And
a
that's the
buyback.
saddest part, right? Because Morgana is the one who has that grenade launcher, and he has to be sacrificed
Yeah.
to the Sharks.
What
Can
you
Axis
do?
bring those 2 back?
Oh, maybe Exact. I don't think Flay.
Ooh. Well, then sacrifice one of it.
Yeah,
They
he got
choose
one.
Exact.
Does he have anything for healing though? I think he probably does. Oh, but hang on a minute. We've got Dekos.
Oh,
right
I think
here.
he sees this.
Yeah, I think, Dekos sees it. He might be able to punish them too.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Might be a big fat rot row in a minute. Okay. Oh, there we go. Raph goes down. And it's not just Dekos. The entire team has this corner on lockdown. I mean, if you're Axis, what do? There's nowhere to hide. You need a vehicle or you got to go around a different way.
Well, a different way is the only way to go.
The different way does not look like a different way. They got back out.
Sometimes you just have to run deep into the blue zone because that's one of those places that, you know, teams, they generally don't want to chase you down into unless they have a vehicle. But with the circle moving that far away, I think Revenge will give up on that chase very soon.
Yeah.
Actually, just need to play the long game. AB Radicals also taking it slow, tanking that blue zone a bit. It's just the third one.
If they don't keep going around, they're going to run into Expand, and this could be pretty big if they're not careful.
Feels like it might happen. AKO makes contact with Bloody Hit, but Bloody Hit only has 1 member left, so this should be the end of Bloody Hit in round number 5. Up against NOP, runs around the corner, only 1 tree. That should be able to keep it up, and yes, NOP takes out Bloody Hit.
Yeah, that's pretty unfortunate for Bloody Hit, but very big victory here for Revenge. I think this is their best round so far today. They've been taken out more or less in the middle of the pack, but let's take a look at this fight over here. We've got Revenge and Farang actually running into each other here. And if you take a look on the top corner at the Husky, we've also got AKO in the vicinity. So hearing these gunfights, we could be seeing a 3-way.
If Revenge takes care of Farah, then it's, again, another piece of good news for AB Radicals. Yes. Grenade launcher in the hand of Thor. Starting to go to run, taking down those blue walls, making sure that you clear those tight angles. And Farah loves to play in with the charge busters. And Thor, well, he takes himself out, but at least this will also go down. But Farah, they want to come in to probably a bit of backup. Spade also has his own grenade launcher, able to return a bit of that fire towards Revenge. Now giving them time to back up as Revenge are taking the brunt of the damage. Tom desperately trying to buy just a little bit of breathing room for his team, but he's getting shot in the leg from below. Forced to use the time turner, but they need more time. They need time for Deco to heal back up, and just the rest of them are tearing this blue wall down, and they eliminate Revenge in this small little corner.
I mean, that's just the inevitable fate if you decide to try and go for a full wall. You're hoping that there's no grenades, but the grenade launcher, 1 grenade, eliminates both. Very easy pickings. But we've got another fight here, Husky. We've got AKO, who has actually managed to corner Axis, although he's been leaving.
Zen knows that. Now they know that someone is behind them.
Yes.
Looking at AV Radicals so far, I mean, they are dangerously close to Expand, and I think that they will have to make contact with Expand if they want to proceed further into a round. That's kind of a make or break moment.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that they have to run into Expand as well, right? Because we know both of these teams very formidable. They can equally take each other out, but it also means that high probability they're going to sustain permanent damage, as in they're going to lose members.
It's kind of a risk that if you are Expand, you're like, whatever, we will take it. But if you're AV Radicals...
Expand are shooting at AV. Yeah, these two teams, they fully engage into each other.
AV has to win this.
And I love that AKO are not moving. They're playing carefully. They are not revealing their position. They're just sort of waiting to see where everyone is. Let these two teams deal with each other.
I mean, this bird eye view says a lot about AV Radicals. There's not much space for them to hide behind. They need glue walls to to even make progress.
Well, they have to move though, because that circle's going to move, and this is a painful circle as well.
Exactly. And if Expand has Riptide Rhythm, it makes life even harder for AV Radicals. They are slowly inching forward towards Expand. They have the grenade launcher in hand, but he has to connect. You have to clear out these areas. Wine is already down. AV Radicals, they gotta move right now. Wine needs a bit of space, but they have the weaponry from the side of Expand. Clear out the members of AV Radicals. Tano blows himself up. This shows that these old Blue are an absolute disaster for AV Radicals. That was the ticket for them to come back into this. Too fast. Does blow himself up as well with the grenades, but Expand still has the members' advantage. Can AV Radicals at least make it out of this alive? The Wonder Kid Raymiao seems to be the only survivor that has a chance. Exo just dips him in the sniping department, and AV Radicals just could not make it through.
The one guy to find them, Axel, the best sniper, catches them out. Oh, what a painful way to go. And this was supposed to be the redemption arc here for AV Radicals. Now, the good news is that they did get a number of this round, but it could have been way better than this team. But it does mean it's got these other teams currently in the running. Lots of points to them, right? You still got Farang here, you still got Axis here, AKO is here. These are 3 teams that are also competing for that top 3 spot, and only 2 of them are going to make it through.
After last round, Axis and Farang are going to be incredibly happy with where they're standing is right now. Expand finds themselves trapped in that blue zone thanks to that early engagement against AV Radicals. Now, they will be in AV Radicals' shoes and trying to push forward into the compounds of the safe area, heavily guarded by Farang, AKO, and even RV to a certain extent.
I do agree. Although, personally, I'm really favoring Farang's spot, right? They've got a compound to themselves. They're basically smack dab within that circle. They are going to have such an easy time gatekeeping some of these teams that are going to try and make it into that circle. So it's up to them, really. But look at who's here. AKO!
The body block is... They body blocked their own teammate.
Oh, what to do? And this is a painful circle as well. There's no way you're coming back for the revive.
Expand somehow slipped right through the compound, and AKO stopped them. Mr. D certainly cannot. ZNOP does get one, using his blue zone to his advantage. What a swing around the corner. Getting 2 in a row, repositions. Axis Esports already out. Roy knows that he has to fight for his life, but the blue zone is going to kill him, and Expand are out. AKO kind of spoiling the fun for the team.
And RV, I think RV jumped on top of Farang here. I think Farang is actually going down.
Farang, I don't think they have much left in the tank as well. RV might not have a lot of kills, but they certainly have control of the round. Farang has 3 more members, but they're all scattered. Jesbu, contact from 2. Does he have enough?
Oh,
no, he does not. Jim
he didn't get the shots.
The good awareness to finish off this member of Farang and bringing down the numbers of the team. And I think RV have kind of solidified themselves to be the team that gets the booyah, unless then he can pull off a bit magic once more. But he doesn't help him, so and he's just getting closer. AKO are out. Farang only left with 1.
Who knows, maybe Farang could turn this around. It's Jumbal, but he's basically a one-shot guy. If you hit him once, he's going down. Jumbal, can you salvage this for his team? No. So yeah, going to lock in that kill for the squad, and that's going to be it.
That's going to be it. Booyah for no escape RV. Didn't get much kill, not as impactful as other teams getting the booyah because they are pretty far down the standing, so this is not going to place them in 2nd or 3rd place, but it does shake things up a bit.
It's going to hurt the other teams, right? Because they really want those extra placement points. So, pretty unfortunate that the team doesn't really have an opportunity to make it to top 3, but I mean, at the end of the day, placements are still placements, right?
You still play your best.
You not just play your best, there's prize money involved. Come on, there's always something to play for. It's not just the top teams are supposed to be playing good, everyone's supposed to play good. So I think if anything, the team, it's going to push them really high up on that leaderboard, right? We know for a fact that there's a lot of Goliaths, but there's only really 6 of them. Everyone else, it's actually pretty easy for these bottom teams to overtake each other if you get a booyah.
Yeah, and I think this is also kind of a byproduct of a couple of really strong teams just hounding at each other. Geek Fan, Farang, Axis, it's always these few teams.
Well, they understand if you eliminate your competition early, that gives you such a big boost.
And they somehow always make it to the final stage, right?
Somehow.
Somehow.
Miraculously they do, yes. I do agree. But Husky, this was our second last game of the day. We've got one more to go, and then we're going to actually find out who our top 3 teams are going to be. I really think this race for top 3, outside of first place, it's still really close.
I think it is. I think the teams are, most of them are still one game away from either qualifying for challenge groups or not qualifying for the stage.
I really want to see the points for this round, because at least we sort of get a better idea as to who is where. I do think Auto Knockout might still be holding on to one of those spots, but the question is who's holding on to the spot after that. I don't think Geekfan, because the team sort of fell off in this round, but I'm feeling Axis or Farang at this point.
Right, because Farang had a pretty good round, right?
Yes.
Round 4 and 5 were decent. I think the race is still tight, but it's more of who are the competitors in this race.
Yeah.
And AV Ligers feel like they are kind of out of the list at this point, unless they pull off a monstrous round. But even if they get a good round in the final game, it doesn't necessarily secure them a placement there unless the other teams get knocked out first.
Exactly, right? Eliminating the competition so that they don't get any points, meaning that every point you make is much more impactful, because you're not offsetting their points.
They got 13 points. It's not a bad round, right? All things considered, it's not a bad round for AV Radicals. They got,
you know what? Yeah.
They got 8 kills. They ran into Expand, so there is still a chance for them.
But you know what's happened here, though? Essentially, they've just nullified all the points that Farang and Auto Knockout got. So ultimately, I actually think they're out of the running.
So you think they're out of the running?
I actually think they're out of the running now.
Ooh.
Because they had 2 bad rounds.
They
right?
did.
And then everyone else got 15, 14 points. And they're going to probably get another 15, 14 points these next round. And then AV, I think the max they can get is actually 35. I don't think they can get 40. The competition is too steep for them to have that kind of day.
35 is doable. I think there is still some hope. You know, it's a Sunday. I'm not going to use mathematics. I'm not going to use my brain. So
is 5 extra points, if they get that 40, going to be substantial enough? I don't think so.
It depends on the other teams.
You are praying.
I'm praying that all
Farang, Auto Knockout, Axis, and Geekfam basically end up in 12, 11, 10, and 9.
Yes.
That's
the best case scenario. For them. Right? I do not speak for them, but that is the scenario that would give them the best chance.
This man dreams so big.
I do. I came so close in getting a prediction for a team that will win the regular league, and that team was Farang. Okay, they came down to one last round. They lost to Geekfam, so my hopes are still there. I cannot wait to get rid of this curse. Okay.
Actually, we were praying for your curse to end, but some things just never die.
Some things don't change. Hopefully it changes. We still have one more round, right? I mean, I'm trying to put myself in the shoes of AV Radicals hopefuls. I think there is still a chance, considering the fact that we're not going to be able to look at the overall leaderboard. Maybe there's going to be that one round. Well, I say maybe, but there's only one more round.
I don't know. I'm tempted to maybe... Actually, I shouldn't say what I'm trying to do, because production might catch on to what I'm trying to do. Anyways, I don't think they can, to be completely honest, after those 2 rounds. But we'll find out at some point. But we're going to have an interview, Husky, so we can continue this discussion while the interviews happen. No?
Unfortunately, we do not, because no escape RV. They got to keep their thoughts to themselves. There's some stress that they need to plan out for the last round. But what we do have is a break so that I can recompose my thoughts and get the copium going.
And maybe we can walk behind production and see what the leaderboard looks like.
Absolutely. We'll be back for the final round of Free Fire. But for now, we'll take a short breather.
The Snapdragon Pro Series is brought to you by Snapdragon Elite Gaming, Monster Energy, and Kachi Shop.
We have one last round before we find out who are the top 3 teams who will make it to the challenge groups in the Snapdragon Pro Series Free Fire Season 2 Regional Finals. My name is Husky, and alongside me is my expert, Danielle, as we...
I love how you call me an expert. I don't really think I'm an expert of much, but okay. I'm the expert of predictions because I have a lot of predictions on my chest. Now, the first prediction, the very obvious one, is that Expand guaranteed first spot.
What a prediction.
What a prediction.
What
amazing.
They have a 100-point lead, but I did not expect them to be in first place.
Exactly. I thought maybe the points would have been distributed a little bit more. I was expecting them to be middle of the pack. I mean, they didn't really need to go all out, but they decided to during game 1, which is fine. It's not a big deal.
Asian parenting at its finest.
Now, here's the thing. This is where things get a little bit sticky, right? We have AV Radicals who had a radical day. They had they had one amazing round. After that, kaput, completely deleted from the game. As in, they ended up in 12, I think, in every round except for that one round.
Yeah. And they had a mediocre game in the previous round, but they had 3 bad rounds, right? 3 abysmal rounds.
I mean, okay, last round you could even count that not as a round, right? Essentially what they did was they just removed all the points that everyone else did. So it's a reset.
It's a neutralized.
It neutralized, right? And so it now comes down to this round for AV Radicals. They've got to pull off, I actually think they need 40 over points if they're going to have a chance for top 3. My current predictions for top 3, I'd love to put Axis, but this is one of their weaker maps, so I'm probably going to have to put Farang and AKO here. I think these guys, they probably have a better chance of actually making it.
I mean, it's pretty poetic that the map that we want AV Radicals to really perform on is, coincidentally, their strongest map.
Yes.
That was the only map that they performed today. 35 monstrous points that put them in second place.
Yeah.
For a good half an hour. So there is a chance that they make this happen.
The game started.
The game has started. We'll see. This all comes down to AV Radicals. I can only say so much, but the players need to deliver.
It comes down to quick react, actually, and whether or not we are not seeing a hot drop. So quick reaction, they have managed to lock down. Are you serious?
It's Geek Fam.
Oh my god. Here we go, AV. And they actually got the drop onto Geek Fam, so they got the shots in first, but no kills yet. No knockdowns. We're currently sitting at a standoff, but I'm scared though because look at the positioning here. You got Tarnamo so far away from his team. If anyone gets knocked down, let's say all 3 get knocked down,
well,
Tarnamo
is already
alone.
knocked down.
And that too. No one can revive him.
And the teams are trying to contest this revival point as well. It's pretty crucial because if you get knocked down, if you clear out an enemy team, you can get the revive going. I think AV Radicals can still do that because Geek Fam have surrendered that area to them. See what happens since Tarnamo is the first one to go down.
Yeah.
Expand, on the other hand, is up against Farang. This doesn't really matter too much to Expand, but it certainly does matter if Farang wants to keep this spot.
Yes, if Farang are able to eliminate Expand, that's going to be so many points to them.
Yeah.
Right? So big deal. Expand. Oh, Axel actually going down first. That's a big one as well. That's the sniper down on the side of Expand. I don't really think he was holding on to a significant gun either, so it might not be so much of a loss. Again, as you said, right, Expand kind of don't care. Like, no matter what happens in this final round, I don't think this team is moving.
No one can get 100 points in one round. We don't have enough points, even with revives.
It's not physically possible.
It's not physically possible. But the best case scenario for Farang has happened because they just wiped out 3 members of Expand. They haven't eliminated the whole team yet, but it does give them the control of the entire area and also a couple points to work with.
Well, we got the revival point here for Too Fast. Hopefully he's going to be able to have this go his way. We have seen in old times, actually, teams where they're just about to get the revive off and then they just get sniped. It'll be a very sad case.
It's going to take a while.
It will take a while. It looks successful so far, but we're going to switch on over to the other side here. We have AKO looking to grab a couple kills themselves. Did I just see another AV Radical name going down? Oh, goodness. It was on the kill feed for just a brief second, but for now, we're going to be seeing Revenge going up against AKO, and so far not looking too good here for Rev. They're going to be going down. I think Torm has been eliminated from the pool here. And is this the last player left? I think it is.
Yeah, Revenge just not able to get the drop onto AKO. The intention was good, but the execution wasn't.
Not quite there.
Not quite. AKO had the numbers from the beginning, so it was pretty wishful thinking from Revenge to even try to pull that off. Geek Fam also ran into ITX, and that was the team that did get an initial snipe onto Tanamo. So that means that Geek Fam is in that vicinity. They did run into ITX, so they did surrender the area over to AV Radicals. We see on the side of our screen, AV Radicals losing 2 members already.
Yeah.
48 points, and it's so hard to catch up. It's not too far. They're not too far from Geek Fam or Farang, like just in the points that they got today. So there is still hope, but with 2 less members, it's not that easy.
Actually, we got points on the side of the screen, Husky, if you haven't noticed.
That they've gotten for today. So it's actually not too far, right? I mean, in hindsight, it doesn't look too far.
Sir, there are 2 players left. There's a good chance that AV just gets removed from the competition
Yeah,
now.
but there's a revival zone where they are.
We gotta wait first. We gotta see those green names pop up. So let's sort of tone down the excitement because I've been disappointed way too many times today.
How did NC made it to this? They walked all the way to stadium. Taking at least significant damage to ITX. It's a 2 versus 3 situation though. We have that man has somehow wins individual gunfights. A good second time turner from Nayo, keeping NC at bay, but NC have a full compound to work with. Nayo ends up going down thanks to the grenade, and ITX's chance of contesting this has been significantly cut down. And with Geek Fam around the corner, ITX have to make
Pablo? Man, Pablo just not able to do it. Gets taken down by Yazoo. That means it's going to be some pickups and no kills for the team. Although, we have Geek Fam coming in from the backline here. Up is just stealing that kill away, and I think that might just be it for NC. They had to sacrifice their teammate. Asta's gone down too! And now it's going to be left to this one final player of poor Ace, who was all alone, but that's going to be it. NC 11th place.
And the 2 teams that are vying for both second and third have got up to a good start. Geek Fam with 5 points, Farah with 3. But down to just 10 teams, and one of those teams is AV Radicals, able to bring the rest of the members back, but they're in that danger zone, as if luck wasn't already not on their side.
They're fine. They'll find a compound. They'll wait it out. It's just like a snowstorm. We don't get snow here, but I guess that's what happens when it's snowing.
It's a round that they desperately need to get high volume of kills. That is I think the hardest part for them to do right now.
Look, I honestly think it's 40 over. That's so many kills. To hit 40 by itself, right, you need 18 to just get 30, so you need 28 points if you want 40.
28 kills.
Yes.
That means you're killing everyone who revives.
I mean, you're killing half the lobby.
Yeah, well, half the lobby, actually.
Yes. Well, there's revive, so it's about half. Less than half.
Yes, it makes sense.
Dude, there were so many people that revived in this round, okay? So
no, I'm not judging.
You're definitely not with that judgmental tone. No. All right, we've got to expand back onto the field here, and it looks like it's going to be quite busy here, Husky. You've got Morgana to the side, Bloody Head are sort of spread out.
Well,
hang on.
Able to sneak that one, but
Mark
did get trade back.
Mark, can he actually get the backups? They lost Morgana. Oh, but this is Axel. Axel's ready to pop heads, bro.
Oh. He was watching all along. And Roy also got a good angle on Mark as well. So Axel is going in for the push, Bloody Head. Forced to split up.
He knows they're running.
I mean, look at the map, Danny. Look at what is happening. AV Radicals are about to converge with Expand because of Bloody Head. They're chasing this Wild Rabbit who is eventually eliminated. But AV Radicals now are in close proximity with Expand.
And AKO have actually run into Quick React. Now this could be a good or a bad thing. If Quick React can get rid of AKO, that's going to be another path for some of these teams to make it to the top 3. So we'll see if they survive this first. It really comes down to Quick React. Can they punish AKO for coming onto this hill so far? It's going to be them down to 2 players. Now it's down to 1. They're just giving these kills away to AKO. Can they punish? Fire's got to be so careful here. Mr. D actually gets picked up here for AKO. It's 2 versus 1. Blank, he needs to salvage this for the team.
Unfortunately for Quick Reactions, they are just not winning individual gunfights. It was all 1 versus 1 that went in favor of AKO, and Blank had no choice but to back off. There is a buy point if he has the coins to get the revive. If not, then I think chances are pretty slim with Axis Esports in front.
Yeah, we'll see if he can afford it. We're not really seeing anything on the feed yet. We'll find out in just a second though. In the meantime though, we're looking at RV. We're actually seeing some damage here. Frey's unfortunately not getting picked up, but look, AV Radicals come in. They want to try and get as many kills as they can. They're only on 1 kill. This is this is not enough. There's not enough people in the lobby for them to actually get these points.
Double kill.
Kind of squeeze out the remainders of the lobby. 2 kills so far. And those 2 free kills from the side of
They need more.
RV. They need way more than
More,
this.
I say.
It will be more if DimQuest just very kindly
Offers
provide
himself? No, okay.
No, he has to get the revive and then offer himself.
Okay, fine. I don't know. I think he's going to offer himself to the blue zone. Who knows what really happens here. But luckily for AKO, they come back. They get the revive here onto Zen OP. So this team looking very strong so far. All the big teams are currently alive. I don't think we're seeing anyone that's really dead. It's
If you're AKO, you want Axis to go down, right? 'Cause that is your closest contender.
I mean, you want everyone to go down. Axis needs to go down, AKO has to go down, GeekFam has to go down. I'd even say AV Radicals kind of has to go down.
Axis showing AKO that they should have put Axis in top 3 instead of GeekFam.
They should have put them in the grave and kept them there. Maybe parked a truck on top of it so they couldn't come up when the moon came out. I don't know.
Your Netflix playlist must be very interesting.
I don't watch Netflix. I watch YouTube. Oh, there. Auto knockout gets eliminated. Axis taken it out.
Yes.
Husky is too busy being convinced.
It's one of the rare moments I do not have any answers. I do not have an automated response.
Oh, goodness. Automated response. Okay.
This is bad news for AKO. Now the
It
hopes of
is.
them making it through hinges on Axis, Farong, and GeekFam.
It hinges on them going down to the smaller teams, the teams that are not even in the running to make it to top 3. So one of those teams being Quick Reaction actually.
Or AV Radicals, right? Because they are also chasing.
Yeah, I actually agree. I think at this point, AV Radicals getting kills, it's a sinkhole for a cause that kind of doesn't. It's not the same as top 3. For them, it's just placements now, making it to 4.
With the amount of players left in the lobby, I can get behind. Quick Reaction also knocked out, and AV Radicals, a bit of a danger. Tanamo getting just 1 member, and that's the clash that we expected to happen with AV Radicals running straight into Expand. It was a 1-for-1 trade. So far, it's kind of a.
It's a stalemate. I mean,
stalemate,
both of these teams are really scared. To be fair, Expand don't need to be scared. Although if you lose Cobra, that is something to be afraid of because they've lost one of their biggest sources of damage for the team.
And I think these players are not as equipped as they wanted to be, right? Because they all had that revive sign. Revenge just keeping AV Radicals occupied. That will allow Expand to get away, have more time in this round.
Yeah, I think
so many obstacles. Like
so many
AV Radicals cannot catch a break.
So many obstacles, and there are actually still a lot of wall teams alive. I say wall teams as in that they're going to wall these teams from making it to top 3. I mean, Revenge is still around. This is a team that doesn't qualify for top 3. Another team that could potentially soak in kills that have to go or need to go to other teams.
Yeah, it's kind of like, how do I put it?
Sinkholes.
Sinkholes, yeah.
Yeah. So who are currently sinkhole teams? I think at this point, AV Radicals a sinkhole team. You've got Revenge as a sinkhole team.
AV Radicals.
Expand is also a sinkhole team.
They actually are.
These teams do not need these kills for placement right now.
Tanamo, grenade launcher, huge knockdown. I mean, AV Radicals, they're taking the proactive move. They know that they gotta take action right now. But unfortunately, that grenade launcher could have got them more error. Oh, close fight against Wine, and Wine wins that one. Good nade from Tanamo to get 2 more. The revives are coming through. AV Radicals need to clean this up as fast as possible. iPans, the last one standing. Extra points for AV Radicals, and iPans right behind that pillar. Spotted out. AV Radicals go in for the rush. This should be an with a couple more points in the bag. 8 so far for AV Radicals.
8 so far, but they need 20 more. And we don't even have 20 players in this lobby. We have less than 20. 18 players, and to be fair, 3 of them are them. So that's 15 people left. So unless we get a whole lot more bodies coming back into this game, it's just a non-existent cause. I mean, Ramiel, you can't kill your teammates for points, okay?
No, you can't.
That's not physically possible. It would be very handy if it was. But
you can team kill them, but I don't think it counts.
No, it doesn't.
You can kill them with a grenade, but...
Oh, Geek Fam, they're about to backstab AV. I don't think they know this.
Yeah, Expand out.
They're so busy watching Expand.
Too Fast is still on this roof. This guy can ruin everything for AV Radicals right now. They did bring back, they did get the revive off. But unfortunately, Tanamo is the first one to go down to Yasta, and they actually don't have much resources because they don't have much time. GeekFam, they're going in for the rush. Hakimi, what can he do? Can he break through the rest of AV Radicals? They have walled themselves in, and B2 uses his teammates as a launch pad to get out. Gets the kill, but it's not enough. They need a bit more. Charge Buster in hand against the rest of GeekFam. Where is Wine when you need him? Occupied and down by Yasta. It's all down to Ritu. It's the sole survivor of AV Radicals. Apis goes down. There is still hope for AV Radicals, but Yasta, he has that weapon we can play from long range.
Actually, you know, you have to worry about the rooftop, right? Expander's still up there. They're waiting
Too fast,
to punish. Yeah, he's waiting to punish somebody just to stick their head out. And I mean, we're down to 5 teams, 12 players. So many opportunities for him to pop heads.
Does Ritu know this? Yasta certainly does. Get some info, runs to the open too fast. Is he taking the shot right now?
I think he's waiting. He's gonna be patient. He's waiting for the circle to get smaller.
He's actually holding. He's actually holding his trigger finger. He's not firing a single shot.
I like this.
Oh,
and AV Radicals, they got the buyback.
Super crucial for AV Radicals. Another sign of life for them. This could be the make or break moment for AV Radicals. They have done everything they could. Now it's just to close out the round the best they can. They gotta get through Yasta, but the most quick member has been taken out. AV Radicals need time.
Actually, it could come down to Farang. Maybe Farang could be that saving grace. You know, be the ones to cripple Expand. But ultimately, like, oh, look at GeekFam! GeekFam got the buyback as well! Oh, the buybacks! There are so many of them! There are so many players!
Now there's enough bodies.
Is there enough bodies?
There's enough bodies for AV Radicals. But unfortunately, there's no weapons for them. Look at this.
Expand actually almost got taken out. I think it's only Axel left. Yeah, it's only the Axel. Everyone else got eliminated.
AV Radicals. Farang is the only team that's fully equipped in this case.
Yeah.
This is a free fall for Farang. They start.
Everyone's going into this fight in their underpants.
Why? Getting up his. This is great. AV Radicals. How long can you hold on? GeekFam is out. Grenade in hand. Not much to loot from the dead bodies of GeekFam members though. Farang, they're taking advantage of this. Not sure how much they know, but Spain is brought down. Tanamo is traded back as well. AV Radicals on their last legs. 14 kills, 2 crippled members, and only a shotgun in hand. As far as cleans up how Jemba actually gets knocked down, but there's no secure kill. Raymia could not do it.
AV Radicals are out. Farang on 15 kills. I actually think Farang guaranteed themselves top 3.
For sure they did, because they've added 12 more points to that with this booyah.
Phenomenal.
The best case scenario to close out the round, everyone just having nothing to fight against them.
Look,
it's the easiest round of their life.
Everyone was just stripped of their weapons, right? They came in with whatever they the clothes on their back, the pistol in their pocket. That was it. They had nothing else. No grenades, no weapons, no guns. That was it.
And now the question: has Farang overcame the demons? Because they have always been a team that is so close, yet so far. But to get into challenge groups, you just need to make top 3.
Gosh, I'm actually really excited to see what the leaderboard is looking like right now, because we might say it's Farang guaranteed, but we could be in for a surprise because we didn't get to see the point distributions for the past couple rounds.
Could be AKO, could be GeekFam, it could be anyone.
Exactly, but I think we kind of know the teams that are not going to make it through. Unfortunately, off of my prediction alone, AV Radicals will not qualify.
I like how they're easier teams to talk about, but you had to say AV Radicals.
I'm sorry, but
what about revenge?
Look, that was the team that suddenly became a contender and then just sort of fell off the board. So we're back to the top 4 situation, right? It was a case of like Expand plus 4. Now we've got to figure out who of these 4 are going to be the 2 to be joining Expand to the next stage.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I think Farang off of the last 3 rounds, especially this one where they got the booyah.
I want to do the process of elimination. Who do you
I think Farang.
No. Who's the most unlikely team to make it through?
I mean, I would assume that AV Radicals is not in the conversation, right?
Yes, they're not. So it was the 4. So it was AKO, GeekFam, Farang, and Axis. Yes.
I think probably AKO. I think AKO was the first one.
Okay, so the least likely out of the 4.
the most likely to not make it.
Yes.
Okay, so AKO.
And then the second most likely?
Ooh, see, between GeekFam and Axis, but this one is very close. I kind of feel like I think Axis. I think my top 3 would probably be Expand, Farang,
and GeekFam. Makes sense.
I could be wrong. I mean, Axis fans, like, don't drag me because
Look, we're
it's
guessing.
a tough one for me.
We're guessing based off of what happened recently.
But I think Axis, credits to them, because after the major they brought in Axac from Todak, and no, this wasn't a very long lead for them in any sense. But I still think they put up a pretty great performance. With Neptune, I feel like I think Rap in particular, so important in the entire scene, has been adapting pretty well to Malaysian freefire.
Yeah.
A lot of these moments where he was kind of the main subject of the team.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the good news is that, I mean, they're really showing a lot of promise. There's a very good chance that the team's going to stick together. We're going to see them in future competitions. Unfortunately, not in this one. Maybe.
Maybe.
There's
a chance.
There's a chance.
I mean, you're looking at Axis with 12 points this round, right? So,
AV Radicals, they tried. 23 points.
Yep, I'm convinced. 23, not enough.
No, it's just absolutely not enough. But 28 for Farang, I think guaranteed. These guys played pretty consistently throughout the day. But the last ones. GeekFam makes sense here. They got 16 points. Auto Knockout the least. I guess I can kind of agree as to why Auto Knockout might not be someone that you're looking at. But I think I have to also agree.
They did fizzle out a bit.
They did fizzle. GeekFam and Axis, though, I think these two teams are going to be tied somewhat. Very close.
If we have a tiebreaker, I think we look at Booyahs first.
Yes, but neither team got Booyahs. So I think kill... Oh no, was it placements? I think it's placements then kills.
Booyah placement and kills, right?
Yes, I think it is. So Booyah placement kills. I don't think it's kills then placements.
I feel like the best way is to look at Booyahs, right? If you had to lose and it comes down to just kills,
Hey, none of them got Booyahs, so
not this round, but overall, I think. Wait,
overall, I think both of them got Booyahs at least once.
Yeah, it's still tied. Okay, it's still tied.
We'll find out because we're gonna see the leaderboard in a second.
Yeah, just taking too much of my brain power. But Farang, the last Booyah of the regional finals goes to them. And I say that Farang, again, a team that has always been so close yet so far to whatever goals that they want to go for. Same for the regular season, same for the recent major. And right now, it feels like they are an arm's throw away, a stone's throw away from challenge groups.
Arms throw? What is this, the zombie apocalypse?
Arms length away, a stone's throw. But yeah,
brilliant. If only it was Halloween, it would make sense then.
Here are the qualified teams, and it's
there we go.
Farang and Axis. They have made it in, so that means that GeekFam and AKO, they don't make it through. AV Radicals as well.
Congratulations to them. I think so. We both saw Farang coming, but I was expecting AKO. But after that round, my faith in AKO was just.
I told you, Danny, it is not that far for AV Radicals. It's actually not that far. They needed just a bit more. Just 7 points. It's not that far. They just need one good round.
But they didn't make it far enough.
Exactly, right? Like, out of the 3 disastrous rounds, they just needed one good one, right? It's actually not...
They needed average rounds.
And
like, that was the most important thing. Like, even if it's just 5 points.
I think the most heartbreaking part is knowing that you had 6 rounds and you only played 3 of them.
I want to say they only played really 2 of them, to be honest.
Yeah, fair enough.
They almost played the 3rd one.
They almost played the 3rd one.
Yeah, but they got cut short.
And even then, they were so close, right? Considering all the circumstances they came into for day 1 and today, they still managed to be close to top 3.
They were handicapped, if you think about it.
Yeah.
3 rounds with either 0 or 1 point.
Yes.
How many teams can still make it to top 6 with a performance like that on one day?
So honestly, props to them. I mean, AV Radicals, as much as they didn't make it, but considering the situation that they were in,
it was crazy.
They can give themselves a pat on the back.
Absolutely. So, I mean, we're going to be seeing a lot more AV Radicals in
they can still prepare for
in this month. Yeah. Later this month. I'm really excited to see how they fare up against the rest of the competition. But congratulations to Expand, to Farang, to Axis. We're going to be seeing more of these guys in the future because they're going to be moving on to the next stage of this tournament. And if anyone's confused, okay, what do you mean next stage? they're not going to be playing against this region anymore. They're going to be playing against the top 3 of the other regions competing in the exact same tournament. And I love this because you're going to get a mix of a whole bunch of different metas, play styles, mechanical skills, strategies. Yeah. And I wonder how they're going to fare.
And we will have a total, I believe, of 18 teams.
Yes.
And only 12 will make it to Jakarta next year, February. So you don't only have to worry about your hombres from Malaysia. You also have to fight one of the strongest regions, Thailand. That is a scary region to look at.
Yes, I agree.
So we'll hold on to that for when Challenge Group starts. We've got to thank all our friends and partners for making this a reality. Snapdragon Elite Gaming, when gaming matters. They've set the stage for us, and Jakarta is also one of the highlights thanks to these guys. So we're really grateful to have them. And aside from Snapdragon Elite Gaming, we also have to extend our gratitude to Monster Energy for allowing everyone to unleash the beast within them. So check them out, www.monsterenergy.com/gaming. And last but not least, if you're a fan of getting good deals and good top-up offers, just check out www.kanchishop.com for your one and only pit stop of great deals.
Got to get those deals, got to get that drink in, also got to get that Snapdragon in. But of course, just a quick reminder, folks, again, don't forget the Jakarta Grand Finals, 4th to 5th of February. It is going to be so exciting. Only the top 12 are going to make it from that next stage. I wonder who makes it through.
I wonder too. I mean, back in the days, you would not know what event comes the next year, right?
It's like a surprise.
It's like a surprise. But right now, you know, I can guarantee this is the first esports event you've heard of that's happening next year. So, no excuse. Mark down the calendar. Cancel all your plans. I do not care what plans you have. Just tune in to this. We booked you first.
We booked you first.
Priority.
No deposit. You know, yeah. It's just booked.
You heard it here. First.
From Husky. Is it coming out of your piggy bank?
Yes.
How much is the deposit? Oh goodness, that was so good casting you again, Husky. It was super fun.
We have more to come with the challenge groups.
We do. We've got so much happening in the future. So that's not going to be it for either of us. Husky, thank you for tuning in to... Not tuning in. Thank you for casting. And to all of our viewers. Dude, you're so speechless. You're like, oh my gosh.
So good. It's always great, man. It's been like 2 years of Free Fire. Always great to be working with you.
It's been like... It's almost like we're chained together. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know if that's a good or a bad thing, but you know who we're going to be thanking? All of our wonderful viewers that tune into the broadcast. Thank you so much for joining us on this fantastic journey. We'll be seeing you in the future for the next stage of the competition. Be there or be square, but for now we will have to say goodbye. Have an amazing night, and we're going to see you during that next stage. See you, survivors.
The Snapdragon Pro Series is brought to you by Snapdragon Elite Gaming, Monster Energy, and Kalahari Shop.
Player on top, know it. Rooftop, penthouse suite. If you really want it, gotta own it. Fight through it, we was at the lowest. Blood, sweat, tears, the components. Riding all year, now's the moment. We are not friends, we are opponents. Yeah, I'm coming for mine. Yeah, I'm making a play, the game on the line. Yeah, I've been on the grind. Yeah, I jump in the spot, I made it my time. Yeah, look in the sky. Yeah, the stars align, no shade to shine. Can't stop it already. Emotional, working devotion. We put in this time. Look.